Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 rounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. Our number one is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Hope you had a great weekend, and we are glad that you are making the Swain Event part of your morning. 7 to 10 weekdays here on the Swain Event, SwainEvent.com. You can download the free app for Android, Apple devices. You can view us online there at Facebook Live, YouTube, or on Twitter. Ben McKee, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Swino. How are you?
Man, good weekend, man. Good weekend. I'm good. It's the last day of, last week of school, which is always exciting. Because it makes my job a whole lot easier in the afternoon. I don't have to drive the daddy's shuttle bus, picking up all the kids. And so I know everyone in the house is going to be a whole lot happier. So when the girls are happy, I'm going to be happy. It's a whole lot easier for me. So last week of school in the Swain household, man. I'm really excited about that, man. Really excited.
That excitement will last about a week.
Now, it'll probably last about a month. And they'll be like, I'm ready to go back to school.
I was talking about the excitement for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, about a week. You're right. Oh, man. Man, Ben dressed like he getting ready to go to a game, man. A home game. A home game. Man, the Grizzlies jerseys they wore last night as they won game one. First round of the Western Conference playoffs against the number one seed Jazz. Man, those uniforms, those jerseys are fresh.
really, really fresh.
Yes. It took everything in me not to purchase one.
You got it. Why not? You got to add to the collection, man. What's the problem?
They only have smalls left. That helped the decision.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I did wait. I was sitting on that decision for a while, trying to find a reason to purchase one.
Yeah, those things are sweet. The trim along the neck and the trim along the leg. Those Grizzlies uniforms are pretty sweet, man. So I spent a good chunk of my weekend, man, watching NBA playoff basketball, man. Some really good games. I think your Grizzlies, man, might be in the most exciting series of them all. The Lakers dropped game 1 between the Grizzlies and Jazz and the Hawks and the Knicks. But those two series are probably going to be the most exciting for me. You watched the Knicks and the Hawks a little bit.
I watched every playoff game yesterday. Yesterday, my TV was constantly going with sports from 11 a.m. until the Grizzlies game ended at midnight.
Yep.
Just absolutely rolling. The weekend was awesome from a sports standpoint for your boy. Tennessee baseball, SEC East champs. Postseason baseball is here. Tony Vitello will join us in 53 minutes to talk about the SEC East champs and this week's SEC tournament. So you had Tennessee take care of business over South Carolina, win the East. The Grizzlies sent Steph Curry home on Friday, pulled off a miracle last night. Grizzlies were fun to watch. The Preds have been even more exciting to watch just because the two games have gone into double overtime, and they've won both at home. Smashville has looked absolutely awesome. You had that going. You had the NBA playoffs, and Knicks-Hawks was amazing, an amazing back-and-forth game. That to me, is going to be the most enjoyable series, I think. Close tie with Lakers-Suns, and then I put the Grizzlies and Jazz a step behind those two series just because I think the Lakers-Suns, Knicks-Hawks are more evenly matched than Grizzlies-Jazz. The Jazz, obviously, the 1 seed, the Grizz, the 8 seed. The Jazz are much better than the Grizzlies. I mean, they set the record for three-pointers in a game as a team this season. So the Grizzlies aren't expected to do a ton. So, but all three games were exciting yesterday. All three games were exciting.
That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to downplay your team to make it seem like you guys are shocking the world. Hey man, the Grizzlies belong.
I mean, we are.
The Grizzlies belong, and the Jazz. You know, they set out some games, man. They rested. One of the perks of being a number 1 overall seed, but it goes back to, NFL around playoff time. The team that rest versus the team that had to fight to get in a wild card, which we've seen Peyton Manning be the victim of this several years, where his team dominated the regular season, rest towards the end, gets the first round bye, comes out and get blasted by the Chargers or gets blasted by, the Steelers or whatever because they sat down. Well, that's kind of what we're seeing with the Jazz and the Grizzlies, man. The Grizzlies, they're feisty, they're scrappy. They remind me a lot of this Tennessee baseball team, to be honest, man. They're not really supposed to be there, but they're there, and they're young, they're confident. Does Tony Vitello know that I'm going to be here?
Yes.
Because the last time he was on the show, I wasn't here.
When I shot him a message, I included you in the text. I said, "Are you free to come on the show with Swain and I tomorrow morning?" I used proper grammar.
It said Swain Event show, but he won't be here? Does he know, I'm going to be here?
Nope. I said Swain and I. Not only did I use proper grammar, I led with you. So I put some respect on your name this time around. So Tony is aware that you will be here.
I might have to pull out the SEC East football ring that I got in 2004. just to just to be able to match that energy.
To fit in?
Just to fit in, man. I don't really know where it is, though, but this is a huge accomplishment. This is a huge accomplishment for this baseball team. Shout out to Kentucky baseball for the help. Appreciate ya for sure. But anyone that's trying to downplay this, man, you're a loser. You don't understand what these guys, this baseball program has been through to get to this point. How much of a severe disadvantage that this baseball program is versus some of the other programs inside of this division. For Tennessee to be SEC East champions, it's pretty dang cool, man. Pretty dang cool.
It is, and sure they needed some help, but who cares?
It doesn't care.
That's sports, man. Each and every single year, you see teams in no matter what sport, basketball, football, baseball, soccer. Watching some of the Premier League yesterday, and Chelsea needed help to qualify for the Champions League next year. So you see that in sports all the time where teams have to have help elsewhere in order to win a championship or make the tournament or make the playoffs. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, Tennessee lost 2 series all season to number 2 Vanderbilt and to number 1 Arkansas. And in each series, Tennessee had a chance to win on Sunday. Tennessee had a chance to beat Vanderbilt that Sunday here in Knoxville after the Evan Russell grand slam in the 8th inning of the second game. You had a chance to win on Sunday, and you just didn't play good baseball. I mean, it was as simple as that. Maybe an emotional hangover from the game before, and then they learned from that experience, came back against Arkansas, number 1 Arkansas, who has the SEC Coach of the Year. That's up for debate.
Let's get ready to say.
Although,
how you gonna make him SEC Coach of the Year, but Vitello National Coach of the Year?
That is interesting, but I don't think Tony's going to win the SEC Coach of the Year. I'll put it at that, unfortunately. So you have the SEC Coach of the Year, the potential National Coach of the Year, bringing in a team that has not lost a series all season, did not end up losing a series all season, and as Connor Pavoloni, Tennessee's catcher, said on Sunday after the game, they had the number 1 team in the country on the ropes all 3 days. The number 1 team in the country worried, nervous all 3 days, and you lose by a run that weekend. You lose 3-2 on that Sunday, and baseball's a game of inches, and the inches went Arkansas's way. So when you only lose those 2 series under those circumstances, who cares if you need help? Vanderbilt has the number 1 and number 2 overall pick in the draft on their pitching staff, pitching Friday and Saturday each and every weekend. And their lineup is littered with talent. They have arguably the best coach in all of college baseball leading the way, guiding their program. And Tennessee was able to finish a half a game better. Who cares how it happened?
It don't matter, man.
Tennessee was awesome all season. And, yes, there are bigger accomplishments to be had. There are bigger trophies that Tennessee would much rather win. The players didn't even really know that they were playing for the SEC East going in to the weekend because they are so locked in on Hoover and locked in on Omaha. Those are the bigger goals in mind. But this is still something that they should be proud of and something that should be celebrated. It's the same as Major League Baseball. When the Braves have won the division the last 2 years, you celebrate it for a night, for a day, 2 days, over the weekend. You acknowledge it. You stand proud in that accomplishment. And then you turn your attention to postseason play and trying to win that bigger trophy. So given the magnitude of where this baseball program was 4 or 5 years ago and what all they've done to get to this point, it should absolutely be celebrated. And as you and I talked about a couple weeks ago, Tennessee's baseball program is in a different spot than Vanderbilt, South Carolina, the Mississippi schools, A&M, LSU, Arkansas. Those teams that have been here, done that, won a championship, so on and so forth. Tennessee hasn't done that, so it's baby steps. This should be celebrated, and anybody downplaying it looks ridiculous in my opinion.
It's a milestone. It's a significant milestone. Anytime you are setting a goal for yourself, there are milestones that you want to hit. You don't go from 0 to 100. You don't go from the moment you thought about setting a goal to the next day hitting that goal. There's steps to getting there. There's a process. There's milestones. And I know in football, the first goal is to win the division, is to win the SEC East. And when you do that, you celebrate. When you do that, it's an accomplishment. It's not the end all. It's not the final goal. But you can't reach the championship without winning the division. In NFL football, how you going to go to the playoffs unless you win the division? Unless you have a situation where your record is really, really, really good and the division winner record is really, really good, maybe a game or two better than yours. But in most cases, for you to go to where you want to go, and that's to win a championship, there's a division. There's a conference championship. And then you play for the real thing. So this is a huge accomplishment for Tennessee baseball. Definitely celebrated. Worth celebrating. These guys should feel great. Doesn't mean that you stop working. Doesn't mean that the job is done. The job is to win a national championship. At the end of the day, that's the job. But and these guys deserve it. All they've heard about other baseball programs, they've been the hunter for so long. And I hope we continue to be the hunter. And I know when Tony Vitello comes on the show, I would love to kind of, hear his mentality that he has shared with his baseball team on being the hunter, because here the next year or two, man, they're going to be the hunted.
They're already the hunted. When you win the East, when you're top 5 in the country, you're going to get everybody's best shot. And the last thing I'll say about the East championship, it is absolutely significant. It is. There are bigger trophies, bigger accomplishments, but it is something to be proud of, because within your own division, in the SEC East, there are 3 schools that since 2010, so pretty much the last decade, technically 11 years, but we'll summarize it as the last decade. You have 3 schools that have won a national championship in your division, in South Carolina, Florida, and Vanderbilt. South Carolina has won 2 when they went back-to-back in 2010 and 2011. Florida has won a national championship recently, and Vanderbilt is technically the reigning champs, since there wasn't a NCAA tournament last year. And Vanderbilt has won it like twice within the last 6 years. And those teams did not have a down year. Florida was the preseason #1 team, and although they did not live up to that expectation, they were a consistent top 10, top 15 team all regular season long. Vanderbilt was a top 5, top 3 preseason team, sat in the top 3, top 5 all year long. South Carolina, they were a top 20, top 25 team all year long. So you have programs with that national championship pedigree within the last decade in your own division. They don't have a down year. They all 3 have really good teams, and you were the best one out of all of them. That is absolutely something that should be proud of.
That's right. We'll take our first break of the day. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Jason Swain, Ben McKee. Be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200. Internet, irisnetworksusa.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue, the search is over.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hope you're having a great Monday morning. Big time accomplishment for Tennessee baseball. SEC East champs. Got a little help from Kentucky. Don't matter. The way they play, put themselves in a position to win the division. Which brings me to this. We don't have to tell the AD that it's time to pay Tony Vitello. I think like the entire baseball community understands that Tony Vitello has outcoached his contract.
Yep.
And like it is literally an AD's job to pay a coach who is winning. And I don't know if there's an AD on the planet that wouldn't love to pay a coach more money for winning more games. On top of that, Tennessee doesn't have a problem with paying coaches. Like, we do realize that, right? Tennessee doesn't have a problem with paying coaches when they win. Tennessee has a problem paying coaches to not coach. That's the problem. So, like, this manufactured narrative that Danny White needs to be reminded to pay Tony Vitello, he doesn't need to be reminded. I understand the support. I understand the excitement. I totally get that. But, like, Danny doesn't need anybody reminding him. That's literally an AD's job. Raise money, hire coaches, retain coaches, pay coaches when they're winning. That's their job. And it's for the 2037th time, it's not just about paying Tony Vitello to keep him here. It's more than that. It's more than that. It's more than that. So he will join us at 8 o'clock. He is aware that I'm here. I don't know if I have permission to talk or not, but he will be joining us, and looking forward to chopping it up, which means talking, having a conversation with Tony Vitello. So we'll talk to Tony here in about 30 minutes. ADs pay coaches that win. Tennessee does not have a problem paying coaches, man. We paid a coach that didn't even coach. We paid a coach to babysit in Kevin Steele. We didn't have a choice because of the predicament that Jeremy Pruitt and his program put us in. But we literally paid a coach almost $1 million to babysit. That's it.
Heck, we paid an AD. We paid Philip Fulmer 2 years ago when maybe you didn't necessarily have to do it the way that they did it. His contract was up, so you did have to give him a new contract. But, yes, to your point, Tennessee has taken care of its coaches, as far as I can tell, whenever they've needed to be taken care of. Even though Rick Barnes was UCLA paying his buyout away from going to UCLA, Tennessee still stepped to the plate under Randy Boyd, who still here,
still paid him,
comes to the games, will be involved in those discussions. He still took care of Rick. Tennessee as a whole took care of Rick. They'll take care of Tony. The question is, can they I don't even know how to put it, because there's going to be a program that comes along that is already established what Tennessee needs to get to and where Tony wants to get to. So is Tony willing to go through that building process? I think he is, as long as the offer makes sense and is deserving. I think he would give strong consideration to sticking it out at Tennessee. But it's going to come down to way more than just giving him a raise.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a coach and you want to win a championship, you want to put yourself in the best vehicle to allow you to do that. There's some coaches that just winning a championship, it's not all about that. It's not all about just winning a championship, because if it was, we would have seen a Pat Fitzgerald leave Northwestern a long time ago. We would have seen a David Shaw leave Stanford a long time ago. For some coaches, it is about just winning a championship and then getting themselves in the right vehicle to help them do that. And that may be an SEC school. It may be a Pac-12 or Big Ten school or ACC, whatever. Like, it may be whatever vehicle that they think is the best one for them to win a championship. But not every coach is like that. Well, you have some coaches who are like, well, I feel like I do have the best vehicle. It just needs a little bit of work. I feel like I'm in the best ride for me. It just needs some paint. It just need some loving, some TLC. That's all it needs. You're gonna have Texas A&M probably come and calling. You're gonna have some other programs that, honestly and truthfully, have a better looking vehicle that may have things set up a little bit easier for Tony to go out and win a championship. But there's a commitment level that I think Danny White has to help Tony Vitello achieve that. But there's a caveat. You got this big stadium that's being placed downtown, and they got to figure that out. Other tweets saying pay Tony Vitello, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Paying Tony Vitello is the easiest thing for Danny White to do. Literally, it's easy to say, hey, here's some more money. Cool, boom, boom, boom. Here's an extra $600,000. That's nothing. Ben, that's no money for Tennessee. If they want to do that. The challenge is all the other stuff with the facilities and the staff and the raising money.
And Tony himself and Danny White have had conversations with money boosters over the last month to 2 months, and those conversations have continued to go on in some form or fashion. So there's an effort there to make sure that Tennessee has its ducks in a row. So when I guess it would help if the mic was on. So I was answering the phone. We'll get to Don here in just a second. But I was saying that Tennessee and Tennessee has done a good job over the last month or two to try and make an effort to make sure that their ducks are in a row. So when it comes time to have those conversations with Tony after the season, that they're ready to have that conversation and they're prepared to put forth their best foot and put forth their best offer. And Tony himself has talked to potential boosters or current boosters and the potential about them maybe giving some more. Danny White has had those same conversations. Like, Danny White is a good athletic director. Like, I don't understand. Like, I know he just got to Tennessee, but he's at Tennessee for a reason. He had other SEC schools calling him when he was at UCF to interview with their school, and they were prominent SEC schools, and he said no. But he came to Tennessee because he truly has a vision for Tennessee. He thinks Tennessee is special and wants to get Tennessee back to where it belongs.
And we paid him a lot.
As a whole. That helps.
That helps too.
But my point is Danny White is a great athletic director, and I get that he just got here. He hasn't proven himself to the Tennessee fan base, and I get that he's made some comments that have rubbed people the wrong way. But Danny White is a great athletic director. He's going to take care of Tony Vitello the best way that he can. If Tony Vitello does end up leaving, it's not going to be because Danny White did not handle his business. It's going to be because the baseball program was just so far behind because of the previous administrations and their lack of faith in the program or their lack of interest in the program. So I know it's the social media trend to tweet about paying Tony. Danny White's going to do his best to keep Tony. He's not just going to let him fall to the wayside and just walk away. Danny White understands Tony Vitello's importance to the fan base right now.
Previous administrations, man, they saw this vehicle. I mean, Tennessee baseball, and when you have a vehicle, you gotta service it. You gotta change the oil. You got to change the tires.
Rotate the tires.
You got to rotate the tires. Like the spark plugs, you got to wash it. If you neglect it, it's going to break down on you. If you neglect it and you put it on the lot, no one's going to want to buy it. Simple as that. And Danny White's coming in. It's like, man, this thing has been neglected for so long. Let me just try to put this thing together and clean it up the best way I can, so that way Tony Vitello feels like this is the right vehicle for him to achieve his personal goals. That's the position that Danny White's in. So, anyways, let's get to the phone. I just feel like we need to reiterate the truth of the situation, and so that way those false narratives won't continue to grow and be, shouted from the rooftops, and people actually believing that it's just about Tony being paid. It's not just about that.
Tramel gets it. Tramel gets it. What a great message from Tramel. And not only is the message great in what he is saying, but he used proper grammar, and we can understand what he's saying. Attaboy, Tramel. Way to start the week off right. You are giving it 63 effort on this Monday morning. You are just on point, ready to go. Tramel says the tweets should be, quote, fix whatever Tony wants to be fixed.
There you go.
That is a great point, Tramel. Instead of tweeting, pay Tony, people should be tweeting, fix whatever Tony wants to be fixed.
There it is.
Here's one example, and then we'll get to Don. One example of, like, fixing what Tony wants to get fixed. There are cars. It is 7:35 a.m. on a Monday. In about an hour, there will be cars parked within the confines of Lindsey Nelson Stadium. There is a parking lot in Lindsey Nelson Stadium that could be used for seating down the left field line, for an expanded porch out in the outfield, or just doing something more extravagant with the outfield. There is a parking lot in Lindsey Nelson Stadium.
Great parking lot too.
It's very convenient for other people on campus, but Tennessee is the only school in the SEC that has a parking lot within its stadium, and we're wasting space. That is like you're already confined to this short area of room over where the stadium is located. But on top of not having a whole lot of room to work with, the little room that you do have to work with, you're using it for a parking lot. There's not another stadium in the SEC, maybe the entire country, that has a parking lot inside of it. It's things like that, like a parking lot.
Okay.
It's that's the type of things that need to be fixed. That is not on par with other SEC programs.
Let's get the Don. Don, good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, Don?
Well, it's Monday.
It is, man. Best day of the week.
Yeah, that's what you say every day. You're a good man. The baseball team, I want to get to that in a minute. But so far this morning, the one thing you haven't done has, and I know it's not your sport, but you haven't mentioned the greatest accomplishment of the weekend in sports.
Phil Mickelson.
It's not Attaboy yet.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not Attaboy yet. He's on Attaboy, winning a major at his age.
That's just unbelievable. They talk about him being 50, and then they flashed a thing on the screen that said he was 50 years and 11 months. So he's almost 51.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't had a good season at all. And then gets on the biggest stage of all. And it was amazing to watch the guy. I mean, he was the only guy that could hit into that wind. They were showing, how he did that in hole after hole that other guys couldn't do. And if, like I mentioned toward the end, and if you hit it into the rough, if you hit it into the trees, if you hit it into the crowd, and you got to get it back to get to the hole, he's the best there is. I mean, he hits over the years. I'm not even a golfer, but I love watching the majors especially. But the shots he's hit over the years, when it seemed like, well, man, we're talking double bogey territory, and it ends up a par or something. It's just unbelievable that somebody. And I was just noticing before they brought it up in the post-game show, but I've watched, last few years, he late 40s, he's getting a little bit hefty around the midriff, like most of us do. But I was just noticing during the weekend, and then they finally started talking about it. He's probably in the best shape he's ever been. I mean, he looked pretty swell out there, flat stomach and, muscles, muscle frame. And like he said, a lot of times you just have to work a little harder when you get that age. It don't mean you're done.
Yeah, I saw him, talking a little bit about Tom Brady and how much he admired Tom Brady, and
right.
The older you get, maybe the harder you got to work, and the more mental it becomes. But yeah, I had Phil Mickelson on Attaboy, so it's just 7:41, Don.
I know. I'm just afraid I might not get to hear you comment.
No, we was gonna mention him, but you're right though. I'm not the biggest golf guy. I mean, I got a lot of respect for the sport, and I think it's fun to play, but I just don't follow like other folks.
Yeah, I mean, most of if I'm sitting here and there's nothing on, especially on a Sunday afternoon, and there's a tournament going on, and and it's pretty close, and I might take some time. Golf's kind of like NASCAR, I don't just sit there and watch 500 laps of NASCAR, but I'll have it on. And when I hear the announcer, somebody getting excited about something, I'll look up and see what's going on, But, and that kind of thing.
I can watch golf before I watch NASCAR.
Yeah. Well, they say about NASCAR, because over the years I've had people, that's not very nice. I'll ask you if you've been, but they say if you ever go to a race, you're hooked. If you ever see it live, especially someone like Bristol, have either one of you guys been to a Bristol race?
I haven't.
I haven't been to a race at Bristol, but I've been to a handful of races growing up. I've been to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I've been to Martinsville a couple of times. I've been to Darlington. I feel like I'm forgetting one more. I've been to 5, 6, 7 races growing up.
Wow.
So I agree with you. When you go, you kind of you get hooked.
Smell that fuel. Going back to Tony and the baseball program, just a fantastic. The only one that was on regular TV, I say regular, is SEC Network, was Saturday, and I was on the road all day. And when I was in the mountains area, when I'd lose my signal, I couldn't listen to the radio. My app couldn't pull it up on my phone. I was listening when Pavloni hit that 3-run homer, and it's 5-1. They're going into the 8th. I'm feeling really good. And then I hit one of those dead spots for 20 minutes or so. When I come back on, I turned it back on. It's 5-4. I'm about to freak out. Oh no, we're not going to blow this, are we? Our relief pitcher, he came in and shut the door. And
Sean Hunley.
And Hunley. I always get Heflin and Hunley's name. I'm trying to remember which one's a starter and which one's a reliever.
They sound like a show in Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Heflin and Hunley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But I got a South Carolina fan at church, so he's standing outside greeting people yesterday morning. So, but he's got 2 UT graduates, and of course he's a local boy from Sweetwater. But I said, "No, did he kick him?" He said, "Well, He said, I don't know. No, I like my Tennessee baseball." Yeah, I was like, yeah. But anyhow, as far as Tony, I appreciate you talking about Danny White. When we heard the guy out of nowhere, nobody knew nothing. It just boom, it happened. And all I heard about was how he was voted as like the top 4 ADs in the country, and this, that, and the other. And you looked at his background, and guys at Buffalo and Central Florida, and he'd hired out of nowhere. Now Lance Leopold's in Kansas, bless his heart. And then the basketball coaches that he had hired, but Alabama's coach and the guy from Duke that's coaching that he hired. I mean, I think he knows what he's doing when he's picking his coaches. I guess that's one of my biggest deals about people immediately just having a sour taste about Josh Heupel. I'm like, wait a minute, the guy's got a record hiring coaches. Well, let's wait and see what happens. I think he might be a little different drink than people around here are used to, but I think 3, 4, 5 months into a program, when you've got his background, I think people need to take a cautious wait and see before they get hypercritical. What do you think?
Yeah, Don, he's actually overqualified for the Tennessee job right now, to be honest. And I don't like saying that because Tennessee my school, but a dude like Danny White with his type of accolades and he's not supposed to be taking over, a dumpster like the Tennessee athletic program has been. And really it's because of Tennessee football. It's not because of any other sports or anything like that. But, reserves are not where it needs to be. Certainly better than what it was when Dave Hart was AD. But honestly, I mean, like, we outkicked our coverage a little bit. I mean, it's just the truth. And when we got him, I was actually surprised that we got someone like him. And just look at how the hires were done with the AD and with the head coach. It wasn't a big circus. It wasn't a big old fiasco. It just kind of happened, like you said, Don. But about 13 minutes, we'll talk to Tony Vitello here on the program. Tennessee baseball, SEC East champs. What kind of momentum are we dealing with here? And how can this Tennessee baseball team take this momentum into the SEC tournament and to the College World Series, hopefully, and go chase that chip. Josh Heupel and Danny White talk about chasing championships. Well, the Tennessee baseball team is doing just that. Attaboy. Around the SEC coming up.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Good morning, Swain Event family. As you already know, I'm your go-to realtor when you are considering buying, selling, or investing in East Tennessee real estate. But did you know I can help all of you listeners in other parts of the country? No matter where you're listening from, there's a good chance I have several Keller Williams real estate partners in your area. I've developed relationships with realtors I know I can trust to help you with your needs. So give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. And Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks, USA.com. 90 days, no payment for business internet, reliable, local, high-quality business fiber internet and voice. Give them a call at 865-448-4747. They bring us Attaboy here on the program where we highlight good stories, positive stories, feel-good stories, feel good.
See what you did.
See what I did there? Phil Mickelson is on Attaboy today. Defies 20-1 odds. Dean Sportsbooks with PGA Championship winner right here on ESPN.com. 50 years old. First golfer with odds of 200-1 or longer to win since 2010. So, attaboy to Phil Mickelson, becoming the oldest major champion. I saw the shot out of the bunker. I'd just be happy to get the shot out the bunker. He made the shot. My goodness, man. So, attaboy to Phil Mickelson, man. I get a kick out of folks making history, hitting milestones, defying the odds, doing something that people tell you that you couldn't do. You're too old. You're too slow. You're not smart enough. You don't have enough money, and you just go out and do it because you believe and you put the work in. So Phil Mickelson gets today's attaboy.
Absolutely. And Don talked about this a little bit, but this was just the improbable taking place because Phil Mickelson had not been playing good golf. I mean, he had a recent tournament, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before, in which he was the leader after the first round. But aside from a couple of decent one-day performances within a tournament, he has not been good. I mean, he hasn't finished in the top 10 of a major in like 5 years. I mean, he misses the cut all the time, and his swing is just, I mean, it's not what it once was. And this course did not seem to fit his game whatsoever. And yet he still pulls off the win and played great golf all weekend long. Truly, truly special. And I thought it was really cool that after playing second fiddle to Tiger Woods for so long, Phil has always played second fiddle to Tiger Woods.
Yep.
And he finally he had his moment. He got his flowers on Sunday. That scene on 18 as he's walking down 18 and the crowd is just following right behind him. They had to pull him out of the crowd. Brooks Koepka got lost in the crowd. I mean, that was the same thing that happened to Tiger on 18 at Augusta, to where the PGA officials just said, forget it. Let him follow him. And just an incredible scene, something that I will forever remember. I've always loved Phil because of his personality, so I was glad that he was able to have that moment. A very cool weekend of sports. I did not mention that off the top of the show, but was going to mention it on Attaboy. Just a really cool moment. That's why sports are special. That's what makes sports cool, are those type of stories.
For sure, man. Tramel says, shout out to his nephew Ronald. He has promotion all day today. So, attaboy Ronald. He said his chili is hot this morning, fellas. Don't know if he'll be able to hold back tears, man. His nephew's his first year playing school ball, made all county in football and in baseball. So, congrats on him, man. I know that Uncle Tramel put a lot of energy and effort, and so proud of you, Ronald. So, thank you for sharing that, Tramel. Chip Payne says, clearly remarkable that someone who's 50 can hit a ball 366 yards, out-driving others who are younger than him by 20 years or so. That's because Phil Mickelson understands one thing.
It's all in the hips.
It's all in the hips, baby.
So remember I had my golf lesson last week.
Yeah, how'd that go?
On Thursday. It went well. But I was cracking up in the middle of it because the guy that was giving me some lessons mentioned something about the hips. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he I got there in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. He just let me hit some balls on the range, and he videoed me, and then we went inside and he threw it up on the TV and talked to me about my swing, and he had mentioned that I had good hip rotation.
Yeah.
And I started losing it.
All in the hips. Vol Farmer says we need a new stadium like the San Francisco Giants to where we can hit home runs into the river. Yeah, we can do it, and then the opposing team can do it too. That would be cool, though. Have people diving in Tennessee River after balls. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
GBO says, so when UT pays Tony V and he loses a season, will they say he makes $5 billion a year? What's wrong? Never mind. That's Coach Barnes. Coach Barnes is coaching a sport where coaches get paid more than baseball coaches. So, he might make Tony Vitello the highest paid coach in America, and then, a year or two from now, he fails to reach the same level of where he was right now, and then you'll have those same people coming out feeling like they wasted money. So, but Tony Vitello certainly deserves to be paid with the country's best, man, because it's about timing. It's about timing. How many times have you seen quarterbacks in the league become the highest paid, player in the league or the highest paid quarterback, but it ain't Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? It's not Peyton Manning. Well, timing got a lot to do with it too, and your leverage. And hey, Rick Barnes took advantage of that. All right, let's go back to the phones.
We got Dave Toner before we get to Tony Vitello.
Dave Toner, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Just over here in the Turks and Caicos listening to the show.
Awesome.
I want to congratulate the men's baseball team.
Heck yeah, man. They were awesome.
there?
They were awesome all season long, man. I was letting you finish. I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh, yes. Somehow the show came back on. But on Friday before we left, I was up in Orlando with Kevin and his family, and we were at a restaurant. And wasn't trying to, eavesdrop. We were sitting right next to him. But these guys kept talking about Danny White. So, I mean, they were talking loud enough to where I was listening to what they were saying. And they were talking about what a class act he is and how much UCF is going to miss him and what a qualified guy he is and just an overall good guy. So I just called to say that because the people in UCF vicinity area are still talking about him and still wishing he hadn't left.
Yeah, and they hire from within, and I think that's a sign of kind of the culture and the system that was already built and put in place, and it just allows the next person to come in and keep the train going. So the fact that they hire from within, I think that's also a testament to Danny White too. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we come back. We'll be joined by Tennessee baseball coach Tony Vitello. SEC East champs will join the line next here in the Swain Event. Stay with us.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup, or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling 'cause you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, and joining us on the Irish Networks hotline this morning, Tony Vitello, Tennessee head baseball coach. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. Tony, good morning.
Morning to you. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hit a big milestone over the weekend, SEC East champions. When you sat down with your team, with your staff, and you're kind of mapping out the season, what are some of the milestones that you have set, goals that you have set for you, your coaching staff, and your team?
Well, we had, Max Scherzer. I was fortunate enough to be able to be around him recruiting-wise and coaching him. And he came and spoke to our guys last year, and he just kept coming back to the theme of just get better every day. And social media, playoffs, Cy Young Award, just everything, all problems get solved if you get better every day. And that's kind of a mantra we tried to introduce to our guys when we got here. But hearing it from that guy is better than hearing it from me or any of the other coaches. So I think the guys jumped on board with that. And where we were at in the program as far as just trying to get back to being in the hunt at all in the SEC, that was a better theme than if you were at Florida where it's, hey, let's get back to Omaha or let's get back to winning another national championship. So we were in a different place, and then you fast forward to this year, everybody was in a different place with COVID. So our number one goal was play 56 games no matter what, even last-minute trip to Austin Peay, making sure you wear the mask, whatever we had to do, we were going to play 56, and we are one of only two teams in the SEC that did that, and in a very small number of people that did it across the country, and that was big for us. It was big for the kids too because it means more playing time.
Tony, it's pretty unique and odd how you all did clinch the East on Saturday. Just in hindsight, Sean Hunley's 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning at South Carolina proved to be even bigger because Kentucky did take care of Vanderbilt on Saturday for you. I'm curious as to how you were following that, if you were following that. I know you were driving back from South Carolina, but can you take us through kind of if you were paying attention to what was going on and kind of what you were feeling when you realized that you all had won the East?
Sure. No, we were just kind of on cloud 9 driving back, talking about the game. And the way we've done it all year long is our 2 buses for our team so they could be spread out. And of course, now we're all vaccinated, which is awesome. But and that's why you've seen the mask go away for our team. But we've kept with our routines. So the coaches have still been driving separately. Kind of one of those things, don't mess with something if it's working well for you. And so me and Coach Q, our strength coach, are driving, and we're happy. And the game's getting late, and it's close. And so we're trying to watch it. But it was when that happened was right when you're kind of going through the mountains coming back, from the east. And so I'm trying my phone. He's trying his. we can't get an access code to get on Watch ESPN, and we're both cussing up a storm. And then we're just trying to watch Game Tracker, but we're not getting service. Finally called a guy, and then while all this is going on, Ross Kivett, who was on the bus, texted us and said we just won the East. So in kind of all that chaos, we found out in a simple message from one of the guys who helped us do that, Coach Kivett, and it really didn't totally sink in until about 24 hours later, to be honest.
Tony, I know there are bigger accomplishments to be had. There are bigger goals that you all would like to accomplish here over the next month, but how much did it mean to you to win the East?
It means a lot because, to be honest with you, all due respect to Kentucky, I didn't calculate that when we talked in the outfield. But in our outfield discussion, we talked about, the goal is if you can win your division, because we were talking about how tough a place South Carolina is to play. If you can win your division, that means you can win a national championship. So why not just focus on the thing that's in front of you first? And that is SEC play comes before the postseason. So in any year for our program, if you can finish in first in your division, it means you're going to host, playoff games at your place. And there's always 3-4 SEC teams in Omaha. And as of late, there's almost always one SEC team in the final. So if you're one of the top teams in the SEC, then you got more than a better chance of being in the final. And if you're in the final, too, you got a chance to win. So we just kind of broke it down like that, and it's ironic how it worked out on the drive home. Everyone found out that, we were able to win the East.
Tony Vitello, Tennessee baseball coach here in the Swain Event. You can tell there's something special here, something special going on with this Tennessee baseball program, and the fans, are behind you 1,000%. And you can see it on social media. You can hear the buzz around the city. It's been so cool to watch and see and witness. Well, with that, Coach, there come some other challenges, right? You're going to have some folks, grabbing at you, pulling at you, just trying to distract you, just trying to distract your team when you're in the midst of trying to chase a championship. How do you deal with those distractions as you're trying to, complete a task? Because you've been so successful with this program, you're going to have some other suitors.
Yeah, no, the cool thing is, or the coolest thing I think we've experienced is the community rallying around the group, and we'll worry about the East thing down the road. Maybe put a number on the wall or get the guys T-shirts when the season is completed. But for now, it's pretty cool that a lot of people have stopped our guys on the streets and want to buy merchandise and things like that. And yeah, there's a lot of riffraff that comes the more successful that you are. But everyone's invested in this thing. And it's taken 4 years to get to this point, not just from the coaching staff, but guys like Luke Lipschitz, Will Heflin, Pete Durkee, players that have been in the program through some really tough times and now some really good times. So I think it's important to stay true to your roots and, continue to do what we've been doing. And that's, again, maybe it's been easier for us because of humble beginnings, to just focus on what is right in front of you. And for today, we've got training on our field, and then we got to travel to Birmingham. So we'll let that take care of itself, and then we'll let tomorrow's itinerary pop up when it does.
Make sure you avoid the numerous potholes around the Birmingham area, Coach, because you will end up with a flat tire real quick.
No, I hear you. Well, it's pretty cool. I think our guys will be blown away that have never been down there. You get a police escort to the field. We stay in a great hotel. That whole scene there, especially if you're at least going to be in a regional, because you can be sweating it pretty bad if you're, on a bubble. But otherwise, that thing's a pleasure cruise. It's such a cool event, and there's so many future big leaguers involved.
In terms of navigating this week in Hoover, what mindset do you adopt, Tony? And I ask that because over the years you hear some coaches dance around, not tanking the tournament per se, but maybe not putting their best foot forward to set themselves up for the first weekend of regional. What philosophy do you take to Hoover?
Well, yeah, I think all that stems. Skip Bertman, who was a great coach in college baseball, was notorious for kind of wanting to tank the tournament, and so some people have tried to copy that because they were always so successful, after that. But I think they were successful for a lot of different reasons. So for us, I mean, again, to try and waver from who we are, I mean, we haven't won in the sexiest fashion all year long. And again, we can't boast some of the accomplishments some of our opponents will in recent years. So we just need to grind and try and win the first game, worry about the next one after that. But having said that, there are bigger goals once the tournament is over. So what we want to do is make sure we get our pitching in order. Maybe get guys out there that haven't been out there in a while if the timing is right, and then try and set that rotation, for next weekend, the following weekend's regional. And the other thing to play that also is in the hopper is, matchups. By now we all kind of know each other really well in the league, and maybe you see a matchup that you like and you roll with it, and hopefully, you're proper in your thinking and it works out.
I know it's 8 a.m. on a Monday, and the last 36 to 48 hours have been a whirlwind, but have you figured out your pitching staff to start the week in Hoover?
No, we have a decent feel, but I think, to tax Chad and Blade at this point too much would be unwise. Obviously, both will be available, and both have been warned, hey, this could be a deal where you could come out of the pen or, start as you normally do when we want you to do. Will Heflin is a little bit of an asterisk because we decided to go to the bullpen early in Game 2, and also he's always so efficient with his pitches. I think he's kind of available to do whatever we need immediately. Camden Sewell, I think, has established himself as another starter candidate in this postseason setting or down the road in the postseason. So it'll kind of revolve around those four guys, and most of the other guys will kind of hold a similar role that they've had to this point.
Tony Vitello, Tennessee baseball coach here on the Swain Event. Coach, can you feel the fans having your back? I mean, it feels like they're willing to do anything and everything to make sure that you sign a lifetime contract. Can you tell us what we need to do to make that happen?
No, I don't think anything different other than as many people as possible show up in that regional, and there's only going to be so many people they can squeeze in there. So I hope there's even more people interested in watching in various areas. I left one of our football games at halftime and watched the rest in my condo. And anytime we scored, I could hear people all over, the Old City area cheering and things like that. And obviously I would be at our game unless I get thrown out again, but it'd be pretty cool if the whole city was on fire, for this regional environment, because it's something we envisioned when we first got here, that if we could do that, it would change our entire culture. Ball fans, other SEC teams say this too. Ball fans come out in greater and louder numbers than anyone in the country if you give them something to come out for. And, fortunately our kids have provided a brand of baseball people get excited about. But no, one of our players showed me a T-shirt, and, I stay off social media, but certain things get back to me. And it's been fun to see that the whole state and then alumni living around the country have rallied around the way these kids play. And fortunately, I'm tied to them. So some creative things for me, and it's been pretty cool. Just someone stopping you at breakfast yesterday and saying, good job to you and the guys. I'm just a walk-on from Missouri that my dad was a coach. That's the only reason I got to do that. So anytime we get a thank you or a good job or anything like that, it means a lot.
Well, I want to tell you I appreciate you, man, because you've added an insult in my arsenal I can use versus other fan bases. So other fan bases talk trash, I can call them meat sticks. So I've been doing that lately. So I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, feel free to use that at will. And I envy your position of being able to talk smack. For us, you want to kind of watch what you say, because you never know who you're going to play or who might get the best of you one day. But we're just willing to compete our butts off so you can talk more and more smack.
Tony, last question before we get you out of here. About a month ago, after I think it was a midweek game, you told me that it was about that time of the season in which you wanted to hand the keys over to the players. Have you all reached that point by now, and just where is your team at heading into postseason play?
Yeah, I think so. I think they know, take this with a grain of salt or whatever, but I think they know everything we got for them this year. Now, there's still, we talked about a couple situations that came up in South Carolina, some good, some bad. So we're always going to want to try and earn our salary or whatever it might be. But, no, it's their team now, and it's their time to go out there and do it. And the stretching becomes a little shorter. The conversations become shorter. We ask their opinion more often now. And a kid I coach that's on our staff said that is the most relaxed I've ever seen you at a baseball game, game 3 against South Carolina. And I was surprised to hear him say that, and that wasn't my intent, but I think it was just a product of being around our group. I mean, I trust them. They're fun. And, the hay's kind of in the barn, so to speak, for the most part. We'll keep preparing and working, but they are the group that they are, and it's a fun group, and they're dangerous.
Good stuff from you, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm just glad that I was here this time. I'm glad I'm here this time, man. I missed you last time.
I know. I was happy to hear your voice as well, and maybe we can do it again sometime soon. Hopefully our guys can keep giving you all something to talk about. And trust me, we see and feel that support from the community, and hopefully we can stoke that fire a little bit more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good luck this upcoming weeks as you compete for a championship down there in Hoover and chasing a World Series championship. So thank you so much for your time.
Amen to that. Appreciate y'all.
See you. Tony Vitello, head baseball coach over there on the hill at Tennessee. You hear that, meat sticks? Tony's coming. He's coming. I'm Tony's trash talker. You don't have to talk trash, Tony. I got you. I talk the trash for you. I call folks meat sticks. You just chill. We got you. We got your back, Tony. We got your back. We'll take a quick time out. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys in the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Let's get to the Irish Network's hotline, 865-255-03. Let's bring in Turkey Man on line 1. Turkey Man, good morning, sir.
I tell you what, I'm fired up. That's the most fired up I've been in a while. We're dangerous. Did you get that? We're dangerous.
I caught that. I caught that, Turkey Man.
Well, that's all I got, guys. We're dangerous.
That's it?
We've been dangerous at nothing in a long time.
That's all you got today? That's it?
That's it, but we're dangerous.
That's really all you need, Turkey Man.
How long has it been since we've said we're dangerous?
That's
enough.
Turkey Man. Dang, he left. I was going to tell Turkey Man that
Turkey Man dropped the mic on you.
Our good friend Jennifer Morris has a chicken problem in her neighborhood, and I think she could.
Oh, I can solve that.
She could use some. Now, I think.
Let me get the smoker ready.
I would call Tony. Tony's obviously good at wrangling the Gamecocks.
I see what you did there.
But Jennifer does have a chicken problem in her neighborhood that is tempting her dog Turner. So, Turkey Man, I think you need to slide in to Jennifer's DMs and give her some advice how to handle that.
Yeah, I need to hear more about this chicken problem. Is it because it's just loud and annoying, or because it's just loose and stuff? Because my neighbor has chickens, and I mean they loud. They don't bother me. I don't care at all. I think it's pretty cool. But what kind of chicken problem we talking about here, Jennifer? I want to know. I want to know about this chicken problem. Maybe you should be friends with him, Jennifer, so he can get you some free eggs. I mean, I could use some free eggs, hooking up my dog with some eggs. Oh, Ben, I gave him some eggs for the first time of the weekend on Friday.
How'd that go?
I gave him a boiled egg. Man, he smashed it. He acted like he never ate before.
Dogs eat anything.
I know, man, but he loved it. He loved it. I mean, he didn't have like diarrhea or anything, so we good.
He didn't get sick afterwards.
Nah, man, we good to go. So that might be like a treat every week or something like that. All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's get to Jason. Jason, good morning.
Ben, Swain, how y'all fellas doing?
What's up, man?
All right, man. Can I get a long-time listener gift card to Dead End, man?
When you going?
I went the other day, man. I sent you and Ben a message, man.
I saw it.
Wings up, bro.
I was driving when you sent it. What did you get?
I got some wings, and my wife got this dip with like barbecue sauce that was mixed in it. It was good.
Oh, the barber queso?
Yeah, but they instead of serving it with Doritos, they served it with Frito chips.
Yeah, corn chips. Yeah. You can, if you want, you can get it with tortilla chips if you want to. But like, yeah, man, that's good stuff right there, man. Listen, I've been on the wings 2021. I don't think I ordered one other thing from Dead Ends this whole entire year except for wings. I've been on the wings like crazy.
Yeah, they good, man. I was listening to y'all conversation, and my neighbors, they got like 10 chickens, and I got a boxer. My boxer chased them out the yard all the time.
Man, well, their chickens, my neighbor's chickens, they don't go anywhere, man. So I haven't had any issues with them. You know, they're like my backyard neighbors, kind of. Not really, but kind of. They're not like right behind me, but they're like two houses next to the house behind me. But I hear them, the chickens, just like they're next door. So we haven't had any problems with the chickens.
Yeah.
You know, they're up early. But other than that, man, my kids like it, so we good.
I'm cool with the chickens, man. They got them in a fence, but they done found out how to escape, man. And every once in a while, he come over here and be like, man, I got some extra eggs, and it's all good, man. I put some eggs with some grits in his own pocket.
That's right, man. It's something different about those fresh eggs, man. They hit a little bit different.
Oh, yeah. And before I let y'all fellas go, Ben, I need you to break down a lot of those defensive players who are coming in, especially the one from Michigan and the one from Auburn. I heard y'all talk about it a little bit, but what do you think, my brother?
They haven't played college football the way that Juwan Mitchell has, so the jury is still out. We'll see how effective they are year one. I trust Brian Jean-Marie to develop them. He's developed linebackers everywhere that he has been, and I'm referring to Mohan, the young man from Michigan. What's his
Apache?
Apache is his nickname. Seems like a guy that can get after the quarterback, a guy that's versatile and can do a number of different things. I think you'll see him line up at outside linebacker, line up at nickel, just kind of be a versatile Swiss Army knife. I'm not saying he'll be a first-round draft pick, but maybe similar to how Clemson used, Justin Simmons, who got drafted by the Raiders or the Cardinals in the first round, and he's kind of had a hard time finding a home with the Cardinals, but Clemson was able to really use his versatility. And then Kamal Haddon, the Auburn transfer, it's a big pickup. I mean, your fourth corner was a walk-on, and nothing against a walk-on potentially playing. He may be able to make plays, but never a good situation when a walk-on is your fourth corner on the team, and there's not a ton of consistency there. So both are significant pickups.
Isaiah Simmons.
That's right.
Isaiah Simmons. I wanted to say Earl Simmons, but that's DMX. R.I.P. DMX.
Hey, Ben, I know you down. I'm not sure about Jason. Hey, man, are we going to Alabama and booing Toa this year or what, man?
Are we going to do what? Go to Alabama to boo him?
Yes, man. We got to go down there and watch the game, man. You from there, Jason, man.
Nah,
I know you were talking before how you don't like going to away stadiums, man. But
not unless we good.
I'm going to Florida this year. I'm going to Kentucky this year, and I want to go to Alabama. I want to try to knock some of those stadiums out the way.
Why don't you wait a couple years?
Yeah, I don't like going. I like to go when we good.
Look, I commend the passion, but year one under Butch Jones, I was still living in Huntsville at the time. 2013, Butch's first year at Tennessee. I went down to Alabama. I went to Tuscaloosa. I didn't think Tennessee was going to win or anything. I went to stay with some friends for the weekend and, hey, get to see Tennessee play. And that game was miserable, absolutely miserable. The only thing I had to hang my hat on was Marquez North making a pretty cool diving catch when Josh Dobbs came into the game, and then Tennessee forced a fumble. Alabama was about to score again, and Tennessee forced a fumble at the goal line. Other than that, it was miserable. The final score was like 45-3 or 52-3, something like that. So my advice would be to maybe wait a couple years, because I went back in 2015, the year that Tennessee should have beaten Alabama. Tennessee was up with like 2 minutes to go in that football game, and then Alabama drove down the field and scored to win that game. That game was much more enjoyable in 2015 than it was 2013, because Bryant-Denny Stadium was quiet in 2015, and the Bammers, they were nervous. They had this look on their face like, what is happening? this is not supposed to be happening. Tennessee's going to ruin our season. That was much more enjoyable. But
So
I commend the passion,
swapping
Jason.
Alabama out? What about swapping Alabama out for Missouri then?
That's a good one. Missouri's a home game too. I think you should swap Alabama, Florida with like South Alabama and Bowling Green.
Walk in there with your chest puffed out. Say something. Say something. Bowling Green fans, say something. You don't want none of this.
Before I let y'all fellas go, I'm going to tell you why I really want to go. I was at PA when Tennessee came down there and played Auburn, and I was like, man, I want to go. And I was like, man, I don't want to travel from there to see us lose. And after that game, just sitting at the house after we won, I was happy. But I was a little sad because I regretted not going.
Yeah,
somebody called me and told me they want to sell me the ticket. And so I always think that I'm going to miss something. You know, and I want to go to a lot of stadiums, man. When I was up north, I went to Penn State, and I did go to Ohio State just to watch a game. So I just want to be in the stadium and see what it's like. I've been to the Redskins game, Eagles game. Wasn't able to make it to Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but I was actually in Pittsburgh Stadium when the Miami Hurricanes came up there and played Pitt Panthers. So I'm just checking off a lot of stadiums, man.
I'm with you.
That's cool.
I like to do that as a sports fan as well. It's my goal to one day attend every football stadium in the SEC and every basketball arena in the SEC. That's kind of on my bucket list, and I am very much into stadium visiting. So I want to go to Fenway Park as a Yankees fan. I don't care. It's freaking Fenway Park. It's one of the historic venues in all of sports, not just baseball. Wrigley Field.
You gonna wear Yankees jersey when you go?
Yes, I'll wear Yankees. I may get into a fight. Me going to Boston, maybe like you going to Tuscaloosa. You may have to bail me out. But I want to go to Lambeau. I want to go to the Army-Navy game in Baltimore or Philly, wherever they're playing. So I'm with you on the whole visiting, other places. I want to go to Ohio State. I could care less about Ohio State. I want to go just to say I got to go to the Horseshoe.
Yeah, the reason why I won't go to that early game that you're talking about from Tennessee, one of my buddies from South Carolina, man, he said he's going to get tickets to that Georgia Clemson game. So I'm waiting out. I'm holding out hope for that. But before I let y'all fellas go, why don't y'all tell me what y'all think about Chicago Bears and then them Pittsburgh Steelers? I haven't heard y'all talk much about them. I think I might have missed when y'all was talking about the draft. And Jason, man, who your quarterback will be, man? And I'll hang up and I'll listen.
I feel some instigating going on from Jason.
I couldn't tell.
That?
I couldn't tell whether he was being serious or whether he was trying to instigate.
Hey man, I think Jason's trying to instigate a little bit, man. I ain't falling for it. You know how I feel about the Bears quarterback. We finally got one, man, Justin Fields. So I'm pumped up about it.
Swain thinks the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No, don't even try to lie. I ain't saying nothing about Super Bowl.
I think it was last week. By week 5, Justin Fields will be starting. By week 10, it'll be dominating.
I hope so, man. I'll be seeing all these other freshman rookie quarterback go in and dominate. Justin Herbert. I want to see a performance like that, man. I want to see a year like that. So I'm encouraged. That's about it. I'm encouraged.
I'm encouraged as well. I don't think the Steelers are going to be as bad as people want them to be, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of
instigating, there's some instigating going on the text box too.
Oh, there is. One thing before we get to the text box. I got to cross Columbia off of the SEC towns that I have visited. Columbia, South Carolina, that is. I was there on Friday and Saturday for the baseball games. Not impressed. Not impressed. I am sorry to anybody who may live in Columbia, South Carolina, but I was not impressed by Columbia, South Carolina. I went to the worst Golden Arches I've ever been to in my life. And it's not even because I ate food. It was after the game on Friday night. It was late, 10:30, 11. I was hungry, and the building was one of the nicest Golden Arches I've ever seen. I mean, it was stoned nice. I mean, it was just like brand spanking new. I pull up to the drive-thru, and there's a fight coming out the door, into the parking lot.
Did you record it?
No.
Why not?
Because it took me a minute to realize what was going on. It was like the end of it, and then they were like pushing and shoving at the end of it. 2 big old girls fighting, and apparently one was dragging the other by the hair inside.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it
man.
spilled outside.
Why didn't you record that?
And so like both of the posses were outside going at each other, and then the entire Mickey D's staff piles outside.
World Star.
I mean, everybody in that joint was outside, and I'm in the drive-through. It's already a long drive-through line. I was in that drive-through for like 20 to 25 minutes. I finally get to where I can order my food, and the girl taking my order is not at all concerned about me. She's not holding down her mic long enough to where I can hear what she's saying through the mic. She's laughing as she's trying to talk to me because she's trying to pay attention to what was going on with the fight.
It's your
the
fault.
cops pull up.
It's your fault.
I never even got food.
You should have, when you saw them fight, you should have left. You know dang well nobody in that place was thinking about serving you.
I left. It hit me. It was taking them forever to. I ordered my food, and then I sat like the car behind where the window was to pay for literally like 15 minutes. They're lucky I was watching the Grizzlies game on my phone, or I would have left sooner.
Oh, man.
And then it hit me like, not only are they taking forever, but they're not at all going to be focused on like properly fixing my food.
Oh no!
So I left.
You gonna get a chicken on a Big Mac? They ain't gonna care nothing.
That was the worst
about your order.
Mickey D's I've
That's your fault.
ever been to, but I was not impressed by Columbia. The baseball stadium was absolutely beautiful. The skyline was really cool, but you couldn't tell what was campus. You couldn't tell what was downtown. The roads didn't make any sense. The football stadium was out in the middle of nowhere. The basketball arena just kind of pops up on you. The people weren't very nice either.
Nothing like your hometown though. Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's right. And my second hometown of Huntsville is 1,000 times better than Columbia, South Carolina. So I apologize if anybody is currently listening in Columbia, but I was not impressed.
You talking about how you want to make all these trips to the Army-Navy game, and you want to go to this game and that game. Well, you missed a perfect opportunity to get a video and sell it to TMZ, make some extra change, and pay for one of those trips. Instead, you over here slow with the draw, man. You got to be like Austin Price, man. You got to whip that phone out.
But I was watching the Grizzlies game on my
whip
phone.
it out and start videoing, man.
I was watching the Grizzlies game. Like, I talk about Tuscaloosa being the armpit of America, and more so Birmingham, but like Tuscaloosa being the butt crack of the South. I thought Tuscaloosa was better than Columbia, especially the campus part. Because they have so much money from the football program, they have rebuilt and built new things all over Alabama's campus, and it is brand spanking new every which way you turn.
What street were you on? Was it Hunger Street?
I don't know why.
Hugger Street? Was it Hugger Street?
Yes, Huger.
It was Huger Street? Is that the street?
Yep.
So we got a DM from Christian who says if it was that restaurant, then you asked for it, bro.
Yep, it was that one. It was that one.
You was in the hood?
Yep. I was by the baseball stadium. I was 2 minutes from the baseball stadium, and Volstorm said, "You really try to get food where a fight's going on for what?" It was the only thing that was open.
It's your fault, man.
It's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
I'm a little suspect about your street smarts, man. Your awareness.
I left. I didn't even take the food. That's pretty good street smarts.
You sitting there watching Memphis basketball for 15 minutes.
Yes.
There could have been gunshots.
Look, I can't help.
What's your awareness? Your hood awareness.
I can't help that I had an erection from watching the Grizzlies eliminate Steph for the playoffs. I mean, it was to the point to where I woke up the next morning and I thought I was going to have to go to the doctor. I mean, you know, they say on the commercial, after so many hours, you may need to go see a doctor. I was reaching that point from watching Ja Morant go crazy and end Steph Curry's season. So I was focused on the Grizzlies game. There was no restaurant. Christian is the one that DM'd us. Mm-hmm. He can back me up. It's like the only restaurant around the stadium, and my hotel was a couple of minutes away.
Ben.
The closest thing, I went to a Sonic, and that Sonic was like 12 minutes away. That was the next closest thing that was open.
Ben, it's time to take you to school, man. You've been at Buckhorn too long, New Market, Alabama. You've been at West Knoxville too long. When you see that, when you see fight, you gotta go. You gotta get up out of there.
I didn't actually see them fight. They were just yelling back and forth by the time I got. They fought inside, and the girl was yelling at the other girl outside when I pulled up, and the cops were pulling up.
You gotta go.
So nobody was was wanting to.
You got to go. You got to get out of there, Ben. You got to just you got to drink some water or something. Hold off that hunger till the next exit. You got to know when you're in the hood. You got to have that awareness. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
But
a siren?
It
Was that a dog barking?
It didn't make
I need to
sense.
get up out of
See,
here.
look at Christian. He's kind of right. There's another restaurant in 5 Points that's open, but that's the bar district, so it ain't much.
It don't matter. You keep driving. Do you want to be hungry or do you want to get shot?
But here's the other thing, and Christian can back me up. Remember what I said a moment ago. The Golden Arches, the building is one of the nicest Golden Arches I've ever seen. So it had the appearance of a very fine young lady, but then you got to know her personality and character, and you were just disgusted.
I didn't take you to Chicago with me. You gotta have that sense.
So what did I do wrong? What do you say?
You didn't leave quick enough.
I was watching the Grizzlies game.
See, that's what I'm saying. You were distracted. You didn't have your head on the swivel.
It wasn't just that. It was that there was another restaurant open at that time of night, and that was really close. I was trying, because my hotel was right around the corner, so I was trying to avoid driving all the way across Columbia to find food. But I had to do that anyways. And then I got to the Sonic, and Sonic took just as long. There just wasn't a fight there. I was laughing.
You in the hood, Ben. That's why.
You
gotta go somewhere else.
They're like 2 people working. What is going on? I just want my peanut butter shake with my cheeseburger, please. But I was laughing. I was laughing when they were outside yelling at each other. There was apparently one girl that absolutely whooped the other one. The one that got whooped came back up and was talking to the McDonald's manager. And she was screaming at him, "I got pulled by my hair. You know how much that hurt?" I was rolling. I was laughing. So that was my experience on Friday night.
Angela said you broke the rule one of the show. Yeah, Ben, nobody want to hear all that. How excited you are.
I'm just saying my pants were off all weekend long. It was a great weekend.
Stop. Ugh. I'm with you, Morgan. I'm with you, Joe. Nobody want to hear all that. Regulator. Ugh. 90s Vol says Columbia sucks. For sure.
I'm sorry, what was that?
But Gainesville is a cesspool. The whole city sucks. Yeah, I drove through Gainesville before, and I was like,
yeah, Gainesville's bad.
What is this?
Gainesville, you know how bad of a city you have to be to where I consider Tuscaloosa better than your city?
Yeah. Volstorm says, you ought to read what Volstorm said. You try to get food when there's a fight going on. I know when I'm mad, ready to fight, I don't care about anything. I can only imagine those folks that got in a fight at McDonald's. They probably was like, man, I'm off. I'm done. I don't care nothing about working here or making this food properly. Big Daddy Vol says, I live in Columbia, and he isn't wrong. Big Shot Rob says, I'm just now waking up. Thank God for a day off. But Ben, my man, is swagged out today. Yes, sir. Yeah, Ben clean today.
Big Shot Rob, my guy.
Yeah, Ben, you clean today, Ben. I got no off the air complaints or corrections for you, man. You swagged out today, Ben. No, nothing from me today.
And I match.
Yeah, you matched today.
Black hoodie under the black jersey.
Yeah, you matched today, man.
The hat corresponds well with the colors on the jersey.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Grizzlies for giving me some excitement on a Monday.
CMBTNG says, Big Ben killing Memphis gear. Swain, you better get those Jordan hoodies back out so you can keep up. Listen, man, it's too hot to be wearing Jordan hoodies. It was 90 degrees over the weekend. Them Jordan hoodies are about to go in the fall bin and put up.
And there was construction all the way from Spartanburg to Columbia.
Oh, yeah.
I just washed my car driving through clouds of dust. Like, come on. I've already got to deal with the pollen. I have absolutely no desire to go back to Columbia.
Nelson says Ben turned the light on when he got dressed this morning.
I did.
I think it didn't hit you that you had on the forest green shirt underneath your jersey last week, until you got here.
Oh, for sure.
You're like, what?
I said that.
Wait, what? This thing is Forest Green? I didn't even know that.
Well, I knew it was Forest Green. It just didn't click in my head that I wasn't matching.
Oh, man. All right, let me get back to the phones.
DR Vol.
DR Vol, what's up, man?
Can I go ahead and complain about this show today?
Please.
You know,
Email HR, man.
Okay, well.
Or you can say it right now. We'll hear your complaints.
Okay, Ben told me this phone call wasn't on air, that you are on a commercial break, so I'll just speak my piece before y'all go back on air.
Yeah, go ahead. We're not on air. Go for it.
Y'all allow Double Dip Tona to call in multiple times, and y'all hit the airplane on Turkey Man. Why are we allowing Ben to talk about having his pants off and having an erection on air? I mean, I'm glad my kids got dropped off this morning before I started hearing that.
Yeah, we'll have to have a talk with Ben after the show about breaking rule number 1. We're gonna have to suspend him like Nick Saban suspending his players. He's gonna be banned from talking during the commercial.
The first segment tomorrow.
He's gonna be banned from talking during the commercial. So that's gonna be his punishment for being nasty.
Huh. I turned the app on. I thought, oh God, what's happening to my show? I may have to change out the picture frame or the picture in my picture frame at the house if this keeps up.
All I have gotten out of this phone call, DR
Howard
Vol.
Stern.
DR Vol.
What's up?
You are now the Brian Maurer of the Swain Event. You know why?
I didn't say this was my show.
Oh, you just did.
Oh, I'm nervous.
My show. You said my show. You are.
Okay, well, I guess I am Brian Maurer.
You are the Brian Maurer of Swain
tweet?
Event listeners.
Does that mean I need to get a shirt complaining about listeners and wear it and get a picture put on Twitter?
Yeah, talking about fans.
Yeah. Did you catch that on his last tweet?
Oh, I did.
In the words of Jason Swain, you ain't slick. I saw that.
Poor Josh Heupel.
Amen to that. Now, I missed part of the interview. I'm going to go back and listen, but with the great Tony V. Did y'all ask him if he tweets at Danny White as well, or is that just closed DM?
No, didn't ask him that, man. I was trying to be respectful and do a professional interview, but trust me, that is a question I would definitely ask Tony V, like off air, off the record. Like, dude, tell these fans to stop doing that, man. They don't need to do that for you to get paid.
It is funny, though, because before the baseball game, all of my tweets are they're excited for the game. During the game, it's about the game. And then post-game, it's just all tweets at Daniel White, I guess, about paying Tony V.
But you know what's funny and what's so weird? Tennessee has never had a problem doing that, though. I mean, if you want to look at when Dave Hart basically let Conzo Martin get trashed by everybody. Dave Hart didn't even back Conzo up one bit. But like every AD has paid coaches, even when they don't win enough. Butch Jones got a raise, Jeremy Pruitt got a raise, Rick Barnes got a raise. Like every coach has gotten paid by a Tennessee athletic director. That's never been Tennessee's problem. So for folks to be like constantly reminding Danny White to pay Tony V, it's like, dude, he knows that. Like that's his job. He knows what to do there.
DR Vol, we need your help to lead the social media charge. I cannot do it.
He's the worst person to lead it.
No, because what I'm going to say is, DR Vol, I know you said you're in and out this morning. That's what she said. Did you hear what Tremel said on the text box?
No, I wasn't able to turn the app on until the beginning of hour 2, and then I had to cut it off because I'm taking my kids to school.
What a bum. Tremel said that it needs the tweets don't need to be pay Tony V. The tweets need to be fix whatever Tony wants to be fixed. So you need to lead the social media charge of Vol Twitter to make sure that those tweets start happening and not the tweets about pay Tony V.
No, retweet them tweets about TennesseeFun.org and going to the game. Because you heard it straight from Tony about how he wants to see a great atmosphere. He wants people at the game. He wants it packed out. That's what can help. That and TennesseeFun.org. But telling Danny to pay him, that ain't helping anything. That's not doing anything.
Well, we've got rid of part of the problem. We had an AD in here that was paying coaches that never even coached. So I think that will help Danny White a lot.
Exactly.
I have no comment.
Exactly.
I really
it's
do
probably a good
wish
thing, Ben, you don't comment anymore, man, because you over here being nasty.
That's one thing I do wish. Like, if I had one question behind closed doors of what's happened the last year at this program, I want to know what Danny White, when he looked at the finances and saw that, I want to know the exact expletive that he said and thought when he saw that.
Yep. Probably WTF.
Yeah.
probably
But now,
said-
to Fulmer's defense, and I'll hang up with this, he didn't say finances have been good. He said recruiting has been good. You have a good day.
Golly.
I still can't believe he said that.
I can't believe you said a lot of things that you said today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
I will-
I'm talking to Savannah about
I
your
will.
behavior.
This is what happens.
Savannah and Anita getting a phone call from me about your behavior today on the show. It is inappropriate.
I will behave over the final
Inappropriate.
hour and 9 minutes. I promise. I pinky promise.
Tina says Ben needs to go home.
I'm sorry, Tina.
I ain't gonna even say what regulator said.
I saw.
Golly.
You want
Moral
to
story, Ben. You need more hood awareness.
I have hood awareness.
No, you don't. Just because you got a Memphis jersey don't mean you got hood awareness.
I am street smart. I was paying attention
No,
to
you
the
don't.
Grizzlies. Neil and Mafia, why don't you read his message?
Neil Mafia has no problem with anything that you've said. I wonder why. I wonder why. It's y'all's fault. Chip and Tina and Big Shot Rob. It's y'all's fault. Y'all done hype Ben up.
No. This is your fault.
He getting way too comfortable.
No. This is your fault. And here's why. I would not have been as excited. Is that a better term to use? Excited?
Thanks, man.
On Friday and last night, watching the Grizzlies play, had you not rained on my parade Thursday morning after the Grizzlies beat the Spurs last Wednesday night. You rained on my parade.
So I'm living rent-free in your head?
Yes, you are. So I wanted them to win just so they could shut you up. Everybody in the world, including Jason Swain, wanted Steph Curry to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
Fake news.
Everybody
Fake
in the
news.
world was picking Steph Curry
Warning.
to make it to the playoffs. Steph this, Steph that.
Oh,
Well, I got news for you.
I can't wait till you done.
Call 12.
I can't wait till
When
you done.
in need of a bucket, call 12. Ja Morant season. Let's go.
I can't wait till you done. You done?
Yes.
You finished?
For the time being.
Number one. I'm glad that I was living rent-free in your head. I'm pretty sure that last night you laid out your clothes like the first day of school. You ironed your shirts, make sure everything was right, make sure that you got dressed in the daylight with the light on today. Because you look good today, man. You look good.
This is what I wore yesterday, so I just took it off, set it next to the bed,
It
and
still
put
looks,
it on again.
yeah, still looks good. You were prepared. You're good. I noticed it. The world noticed it. You fresh. You fresh today. So fresh and so clean. Number two. I saw your tweet, Ben.
I'm glad you did.
I saw your subtweet.
It was a subtweet towards everybody, not just you.
No, I saw your subtweet. You ain't slick.
It wasn't just that.
I didn't respond.
It was for everybody on Twitter.
I didn't respond, and I didn't look at it.
I didn't need to tag you. 90s Vol was doing my work for me.
I saw it. Don't worry. I saw all of it. I saw your subtweet. Let me go back to it. You got a lot of baseball tweets in here.
You got to scroll for a while. It's pretty much what I just said.
And you tweet more than DR Vol.
Everybody wanted Steph to win. Everybody was picking Steph to win. Steph this, Steph that. Ja Morant, you hear me.
No,
that was my tweet.
I'm going to the tweet.
That was my tweet.
Goodness gracious. Where is this tweet, man?
Memphis Pam's on my side. You know why? Because Memphis Pam is better than you. And she's better than everybody else on the text box. Hating.
So, I picked the Warriors to beat the Grizzlies. That doesn't mean I was wanting Steph Curry to advance. I just picked them because Steph was on fire.
You wanted Steph to advance.
Dude, I didn't care. I wouldn't bother when the Warriors lost. I didn't care. I just picked them to win. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Ben.
Why are you clapping?
Because I'm about to make a point. And this is what black folks do when we about to make a point. We clap like this, okay? You would know that if you was paying attention in the hood instead of on your phone watching the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies are more important.
You would have been aware that two girls was talking to each other like this and they was about to throw hands. You would have seen
I saw the end of it. There was nothing for me to record. Remember that video when Dave Van Horn and Tony Vitello got into it?
Yeah.
And I tweeted out like a 2-minute video, and there was nothing going on in the video. It was just them intensely talking. And you made a comment about how that video showed nothing. That's what the video of
I said Tony was rocking back and forth side to side. It was good.
Well, maybe not you. There are people saying this video didn't show anything. That's what the video would have been had I taken a video instead of watching the Grizz game in that drive-thru.
Let me tell you something, though, Ben. If I remember correctly, I got to break up correctly.
You go real ghetto.
If I remember correctly, Ben, you picked the Warriors to beat the Grizzlies too. You thought that the Warriors. Okay, so why are you talking like you against the world and you the only one that picked the Grizzlies?
No, I don't think I flat out picked the Warriors.
You said
because I think I always thought that the Grizzlies had a better team than the Warriors. The Warriors have the best player. The Grizzlies had the better team. I thought the Grizzlies absolutely had a chance, but I was terrified of Steph Curry. And the Grizzlies had not been playing great basketball the last 2 to 3 weeks of the regular season, so I was intensely worried.
You agree with my prediction. Don't make me check the tape.
Yeah, but still.
Okay, so if you agree with my prediction, let's just say Tennessee football. This is where you messed up, Ben. Tennessee football. Let's just say that it's Florida week, and you and we picked Florida to win because we're thinking what I had over our heart. Mm-hmm. If Tennessee beats Florida, we can't be putting out tweets like, "Oh yeah, we shocked y'all."
Yes, we can.
No,
you know why? We're fans. That's why we can't. We're homers. We're blind. We forget about common sense in these moments.
We picked Florida to win. We can't. We happy for Tennessee. We happy for our team, but we can't make it seem like that we picked the underdog all along, and that's not the case. That's why you think you slick.
You are.
I was laughing at you though.
You are correct. You are correct. I will take this L. I should have worded my tweet better because my tweet was intended to come off as
you're a big man, Ben. You're a big man.
I know. My tweet was intended to come off as nobody gave the Grizzlies a chance. And obviously I did not say that. So I will take my L. But I'm happy.
Look at 90s Vol. Look at 90s Vol. He got your back.
And
He's taking an L too.
And I need to take an L because I keep calling him 90s Vol. He's 901 Vol. So my apologies. I keep calling him 90s
Look
Vol.
at you leading him. You leading him into the dungeon of L's. Get him.
You definitely said the Grizzlies didn't have a chance. That's what I mean. You came in and rained on my parade, and that was what my tweet was referencing. Not just you. You rained on my parade. That's all there is to it.
You was mad because you wanted me to know that Valanciunas had a good game. He's good.
Good game. He was a great game.
He did. He had a good game last night too. He was good. He outplayed the defensive player of the year. He did a good job.
Let me ask you this, and then we'll move on.
But you want me to be an enemy of the Grizzlies, and I'm not.
Because you are. You rained on my parade last week. You were not happy for me.
What I text you last night, Ben?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I forgot.
You forgot, man. I got these receipts.
I got a lot of text messages last night. You said something about Dylan Brooks.
I said Brooks a dog. He is. He's fun to watch compete. I sent you that.
You're sucking up.
No, I was not, man.
Let me ask you
I'm
this.
not a hater of the Grizzlies.
Did you watch the Grizzlies-Warriors game on Friday night?
I did.
Last thing, and then we'll move on.
I did watch it.
Were you thinking of me during the game?
No.
That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. Because you know what? Because I sit next to you every day. I communicate with you every single day of my life. Anytime the Bears are playing. Heck, I even thought of you when the Yankees swept the White Sox this weekend.
You're a good friend, man. You're thinking of your friend all the time. I appreciate it.
You don't have to lie to the good people. So I'm glad that I was living rent-free in your head during the game on Friday night because I know you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I wonder what Ben's doing right now. Well, buddy, I was having a good time.
I'm happy for you, man. Happy for you. I'm no hater of the Grizzlies. I'm no hater of the Grizzlies at all, man. The way they play reminds me of the Tennessee baseball team, to be honest.
You know what?
Scrappy, young. No one gives them a chance. Got a little attitude to them. I like it.
I'll agree with you. You're not against the Grizzlies. You're just against your friends being happy. Anytime Stokes' Falcons lose, you are excited. Anytime the Steelers, the Yankees, the Grizzlies, anytime those teams lose, you're excited. Anytime Brad's Ravens lose,
That's not
you
true.
are excited.
I'm sad with Brad.
You had
We hug it
your
out.
kids put together a get well card for Brad.
It's just jokes.
That's instigating.
It's just
is what that
jokes.
is. You feed off of your friends' disappointment.
It's just
So I
jokes,
agree.
man.
You don't doubt the Grizzlies. You like the Grizzlies. You're not against them. You just you love the sadness that comes with your friends' teams
Just
failing.
jokes. Just jokes, man. Just jokes. It's okay, man. It's just jokes, man. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 Barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help. Touchdown or turnover is backed by El Coahuila Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Call that shot, Ben McKee. I want you to call that shot today, May 24th. I want you to call that shot. The SEC baseball tournament is set. Your Tennessee Volunteers, the second seed, they'll play the winner of Alabama and South Carolina on Wednesday at 2 p.m., 1 o'clock Central Time. At the top of the bracket, Mississippi State is the 3 seed. They play the winner of Kentucky and Florida. Arkansas is the number 1 seed. They play the winner of LSU, UGA. And Vanderbilt They're the 4th seed, and they play the winner of Ole Miss and Auburn. And it looks like if Tennessee handles business, they would avoid Arkansas, they would avoid Vanderbilt, all the way up into the finals. But they would have to beat Mississippi State. Touchdown turnover. Call that shot, Ben. Tennessee will be in the finals of the SEC baseball tournament that will take place May the 30th, my daughter's birthday, at 3 p.m. Touchdown turnover, Ben. Vols in the championship game.
I say turnover. I don't think Tennessee will make it to Sunday. I don't think Tennessee has the pitching depth to make it to Sunday and definitely win it. Not saying that it's not possible. This is obviously a very good Tennessee baseball team. They've beaten every team that they've played this season in some capacity. They've even shown that they can beat Arkansas and Vanderbilt.
Who?
Vanderbilt. So I question the pitching depth in this situation, and I also question how, not how serious, but I guess kind of like what I asked Tony, just how good of a foot does Tennessee put forward to try and win this tournament? Because the important thing is to make sure that you are set up for next weekend. Make sure your pitching is lined up correctly for next weekend when you host a regional. That is far more important than winning the SEC tournament. So I don't think Tony is going to tank this week at all. But you heard him allude to taking it easy with Chad Dallas and Blade Tidwell. Maybe not pushing them a ton this week. That's in an effort to make sure that they are good to go next weekend. And that's not putting your best foot forward. If you're gung-ho on winning the SEC tournament, you wouldn't be taking it easy on Chad Dallas and Blake Tidwell. And we don't know what Tony means by that. That could mean, okay, we'll still start Chad Dallas on Friday, but we're only throwing him 5 innings. Blake Tidwell, we'll still start him on Saturday. We're only throwing him 5 innings. So I'll be curious to see what that looks like. But based off the tone of the voice that Tony had, it sounds like he's going to be very conservative by how he deploys his arms this week. So because of that, I say turnover. I think the main focus is to set themselves up good for next weekend. And if that ends in Tennessee playing for a championship on Sunday, that's awesome. Very cool. What an accomplishment. But if not, then so be it.
I agree with you. I'll mention something different, though. I think anytime you see a tournament that is played like, a conference championship in basketball or a conference tournament, in baseball, but there's still the bigger prize, regardless of whether you win or lose. I think you have to put things in perspective. Like football, you got to have the SEC championship game to possibly get to the championship game. Well, for Tennessee, they don't really need to win the SEC tournament to achieve their goals. They just want to make sure they're healthy and that they give themselves the best chance to win after the tournament. So yeah, that's a tough deal, man, to go through the SEC tournament, this gauntlet of teams where it's the best baseball in the country, and expect Tennessee to go through here unscathed and win it. So I'm gonna go turnover, man. I just think the odds are against them, but this tournament is gonna make them better to be able to go and beat other teams outside the SEC during their World Series chase. Hour 3 will continue after this. Stay with us.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy. Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Around the SEC, here in the Swain Event, Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Memphis Ben. Memphis, everything. Memphis. All right, Memphis Ben, what we got, man, for around the SEC?
Have a couple of coaching hires to mention. Mike White, Florida head basketball coach, will hire Oklahoma State's Eric Pastrana as an assistant coach.
That sounds like a deli meat.
I know. Pastrana. So Florida head coach making an assistant coach hire. Ole Miss is expected to hire Jake Thornton as its offensive line coach, a highly thought of young coach and former Alabama graduate assistant who was the O-line coach and run game coordinator at Gardner-Webb last season. He was previously the offensive line coach at Tennessee Tech. And I believe he's from East Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I think he played at Carson Newman. If not played at Carson Newman, then he played in East Tennessee growing up.
So technically he's a volunteer.
Technically. Potentially.
I mean, hey, if you're from Tennessee, you're a volunteer. You're from the volunteer state, you're a volunteer.
Well, if he just played at Carson Newman and isn't from Carson Newman or from East Tennessee, then yeah. See, he's from North Carolina.
He's a Tar Heel.
Yes.
Ain't that the Tar Heel State? What
Tar Heel State?
That was called.
I think so.
What they called? Let me make sure I see that.
I should know this. I lived there for 4 years.
Oh yeah, that's another hometown of yours.
Yep. Shout out to Fort Bragg and Fayetteville. Yeah, Tar Heel State. I knew that. I just second guessed myself.
You have confidence, man.
North Carolina, much better than South Carolina. I kid. So he played at Carson Newman. That is the tie to East Tennessee. Did not grow up here. 2 transfers real quick. Missouri cornerback transferred Jadarius Perkins committed to Florida over the weekend. So there's an interconference transfer for you. Jadarius Perkins going from Missouri to Florida. Florida has
so weird
a lack of depth in the secondary. Like Tennessee does.
So weird.
Dan Mullen trying to address that need. And then Tennessee picked up a defensive lineman from Kansas a couple of weeks ago, DeJohn Terry. His teammate is headed to Auburn. Kansas defensive lineman Marcus Harris committed to Auburn on Friday. He was a redshirt freshman last season at Kansas, started 5 games, and led the team with 7.5 tackles for loss. Imagine being DeJohn Terry and Marcus Harris, and you go from Kansas to Tennessee and Auburn.
Oh yeah, man!
Talk about a glow up.
It's like having Spam to having a filet. Facilities, the fans, I mean, I thought it was weird that Tony Vitello was talking about how cool it's going to be for the players to get police escorts. So you know what's crazy is like that's what we got all the time. So it was nothing. It's like it was nothing special. We always got police escorts. We need our baseball team to get more police escorts. Get some of that football privilege, some of that football experience, man. But
and that's, to be fair to Tennessee in this particular instance, that is a baseball to football type of thing. It's not that other SEC baseball teams get that.
Yeah,
and Tennessee doesn't.
But I want our baseball team to be treated better than the other baseball teams around the league. We understand that football is more important than baseball, just period, in college athletics. You know, from a financial standpoint, but I just want us to treat our baseball team the best. That's all.
I'm with you.
Don't have to be the same as football, but just the best versus their competition.
Absolutely.
Brent,
you know, I've been preaching that for a couple of years now.
Yeah. Brandon B. on the text box says, I know it's early still, but looks like Aaron Willis might have learned his lesson. According to the football IG account, Tennessee, he's doing some community service at Lonsdale Elementary with Jeremy Banks and a few other upperclassmen. Kudos to him. Well, I hope he learned his lesson. I don't know if he can take that as he learned his lesson, but I hope he has. And remember last week I shared with everyone that Jeremy Banks has done a lot of work, you know, in you know, the urban community in Knoxville, in conjunction with Emerald Youth. You know, when he was suspended and away from Tennessee's athletic program and training facilities, you know, he worked out with Emerald Youth, and he got a chance to connect with some of those young men and young women inside that program, and really mentor them, and really talk to them, and really invest in them. And so, looks like Aaron Willis is kind of doing the same thing under the wing of Jeremy Banks. So I hope that Aaron Willis has done everything that he can possibly do, and he's kind of checked off those check marks that Heupel and company have laid out for him, those hoops that he has to jump through to get back on the team and be in good standing. But thank you for sharing that, Brandon B. Regulator says, my goal in life is to be as petty and extra as Swain one day. I didn't know you had your kids make Brad a get well card. I did. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. It was funny, and my kids got a chance to work on their handwriting. Can't miss out on an opportunity for your kids to get better, right? Academically. I love it. It's just jokes, though.
You
man.
are petty.
It's just jokes, just funny.
Petty. Nothing
was as petty as when the Falcons lost. It probably was man, it had to be 7 years ago, at least 7+. Yeah, it had to be 7+. Maybe probably 7, 8 years ago. The Falcons had lost the game, and he was sick too, man. He was hurting. And I went to the grocery store and I bought him a cheap card, a cheap like basket of like goodies.
Got him some soup
and a can of soup. In a balloon. It was me and Chris Trees. We did it. And before Stokes walked in, we had it at his desk. We set it on his desk, and he walked in. Oh man, I wish we would have video recorded that, man. It was great. It was great. That was the pettiest, the most petty I've been.
That is the most petty you have been. Having your kids do what they did was right behind that.
They didn't know what they were doing. They just thought they were,
But you did.
They thought Brad was sick, and they just wanted to draw.
Brad was sick. Brad was definitely sick. That is for sure. I got Stokes good one time when Eric Berry went back to Atlanta.
Oh, had the pick six?
Yeah, the pick six, and then that was on a Sunday, and that Monday
he was crushed.
I wore my Eric Berry Chiefs jersey.
Oh, he was crushed.
To the studio.
He was crushed. He hated that one. He was crushed. He was absolutely crushed. Has anyone in the history of history talked about having happy pants in the McDonald's drive-thru while I broke out waiting on chicken nuggets? No, Ben made history today. Ben made history. James GBO says we need to raise Ben's awareness hood by hood. Yeah, man. Yeah. You gotta have that hood awareness, man. Gotta have hood awareness. See, in Chicago it's really easy to a certain extent because in Chicago they have like police boxes at the end of the corners, and if you see a police box, you should be not stopping at stop signs. Just don't even stop.
Police box? What's that? What is a police box?
So you know how like on Kingston Pike, Morrell Road, going to the mall, there's cameras to stop people from speeding.
Mm-hmm.
So police box is a big box, just like a camera, but it has red and blue lights. It is literally a police box that records everything all the time. It's not just about speed. It's about recording everything.
Crimes.
Because it's a lot of crime in that area. So when you roll up, at a stop sign, again, you don't stop. You got to roll through because they will jack you straight at the stop sign. So if you in an area where you see one of those police boxes, it is advised that you keep it going, or you avoid that area if you're not from there and you don't know what's going on.
So never go to Chicago is what you're saying.
No, I'm telling you, know where you're going if you do go. Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going.
Well, I
would end up in the hood.
You better take a class, or you better ask somebody, because you just can't just be driving around just because you got some gas.
You with me.
I mean, I don't know how much help I can be. I just know that if I see a police box, you just got to keep it moving or go the opposite direction.
That's good to know. Now, if I ever go to Chicago, your voice is going to be in my head telling me to not stop at any light or stop sign in the entire city.
Police box. You see a police box, you roll through, man. You don't need to, just drive through and get hit, but you need to not stop.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Is Wrigley Field or the White Sox Stadium in the hood?
A couple left turns. You're right. You could be right there.
Which one? Both of them?
Both.
Both,
but probably more White Sox than Wrigley.
Hey, did you know the White Sox got swept by the Yankees this weekend?
Nope. I did not know that. I did see where the Cubs beat the Cardinals. I saw that, but nope, I didn't see that. Yep. The other McKee says they have police boxes in store parking lots around Christmas. Lowe's in Chattanooga has one year round. Yeah. So
I wonder if I'm related to the other McKee.
If they're from Knoxville, man, high probability.
Well,
or
he's talking about Chattanooga.
If
so
they're from Huntsville, definitely your cousin.
No, there's zero chance that. But he's from Chattanooga, it appears, since he mentioned
that's halfway
Chattanooga.
between.
I do have family in Chattanooga.
Hometown number 1 to hometown number 2.
That's right.
It's like an average.
That is right. I do have family in Chattanooga. So I wonder if the other McKee and I are related.
Maybe. Nila Mafia says no one needs to get mad at you for your situation over there. Neil Mafia, you're the only person.
That's not what he said.
That's cheering. I'm not reading what he said.
That's not what he said.
Neil Mafia's the only one that's cheering you on right now. That tells you a lot about you and Neil Mafia.
Neil Mafia and I are not going to be associated at the hip because when I was out of town, I did not mess with any Tammies or lot lizards. I kept to myself.
Okay.
I was just trying to get my Mickey D's and go back to the crib and watch the Grizzlies.
Daniel Vall says, hey, guys, love the show. I watch every morning. A couple things. I played Top Golf Thursday, hit the 100-yard target. It was fantastic. And about new recruits, Mohan the Apache. Well, the tribe has arrived. Go Vols. Yeah, man, that's cool, man. We got like a little pipeline from Michigan to Tennessee, and then from Tennessee to Norman. We still got a pipeline, though, from Michigan, though.
And one to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, that's not a pipeline. It's just one dude that want to go to Tuscaloosa.
Well, and everybody from the city of Tuscaloosa was employed by Tennessee football the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
The Top Golf in Neyland looked really cool. I was jealous of those who got to participate. I saw several Swain Event listeners tweeting out photos of them getting to experience that. That looked really awesome.
And that's really cool. Other McKee says they have family in Florence.
I do not have family in Florence. I can assure you of that.
That's close enough. That's an hour and some change to Huntsville.
Now I actually do have some family in the state of Alabama, just not in Huntsville. My grandma, the grandma you are familiar with, she was born in Anniston.
Okay.
And so I think she has like some cousins in Anniston, which would be like my second or third or fourth or something cousins.
Yeah, man. I think the area, West Tennessee, Knoxville, Mississippi, top of Alabama. Hey, man, if they're McKee, you need to look it up. They may be related to you.
After experiencing Columbia, South Carolina this weekend, I have a greater appreciation for North Alabama. I'm going to begin claiming Huntsville and Knoxville.
You might need to, man.
Columbia, I do not have any desire to go back.
You might need to. Matthew says, Tennessee won, and my 4-year-old said, I am good luck for Carolina, and I want to go to more. The Lone Wolf took a ton of abuse, but knowing Saturday that we are champs felt awesome. Also, Columbia sucks, and I have to live here because my wife. Shaking my head, I pray every day that I will move one day. Man, I feel bad for you.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine living in another SEC town as a Tennessee fan. Living in Huntsville, 2.5, 3 hours away from Tuscaloosa was bad enough. Living in Savannah, Georgia, 4 to 5 hours away from Athens was bad enough. But to live in the town, in the city in which there's another SEC team, that'd be rough. I don't know if I'd make it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. Yeah, like I can't even go to Tuscaloosa for a football game because I know me. Me and Sean Reed was at the Florida game 2018, and I was at a home game, and there was one Florida fan. He was cheering too much. He's getting on my damn nerves. So I left because I was really close to saying something to him, and who knows what would have happened after that. So before I do or say anything, I think about, okay, if I do this or say this, what could happen from that? And then that could happen. And then that could happen. Okay, I don't need to say that then. I probably just need to leave. I was so upset at that game. And this one Florida fan was getting on my nerves. One. Imagine going on the road and having to deal with 80,000 of them. No, I couldn't do it, man. I know me. I would get too mad. I would get too upset. I need to go when Tennessee is better. I'm not going to set myself up for that.
We're going to go 1 year. 1 year, you and I, we're going to go. We are both going to sit in the stands, and you are going to experience a Tennessee-Alabama game on the road as a fan. I think we need to do that one, Gainesville, and Athens. All three. The trifecta. When Tennessee gets back to being Tennessee, We've got to do that.
I've been at one
You've
game
been to Vandy.
on the road. Yep.
And that wasn't a road game.
It wasn't.
It was Tennessee, and that was the 2012 game that Tennessee lost, right?
Yeah, we got smashed. James Franklin was trying to get that Penn State job for real, man. He was trying to put an exclamation point on his resume. So he was using Tennessee to do that. He was trying to get out of Vanderbilt. So yeah, that was when that's when I think Dooley like benched Tyler Bray. Guys just quit. It was embarrassing. It was terrible. But that's been the only away game that I've been to.
That was the game that Derek Dooley got fired after. And
no,
yeah, it was.
I think I got fired at Missouri.
That was Butch.
I thought both of them got fired at Missouri. No, it was Vanderbilt. Yep, it was Vanderbilt.
Then Jim Chaney coached against Kentucky the next week.
Yep.
And won.
Jim Chaney 1-0 as the head coach.
Maybe Tennessee needs to hire Jim Chaney if Josh Heupel doesn't work out.
Let's stop.
He'd have the best winning percentage of any Tennessee coach ever hired by Tennessee.
Probably. Triple OG says lived in Columbia for 2 years. It was the worst. Pre-gamed at William Bryce in my UT jersey every week, though just to troll, even when not playing UT. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Joe says working there is terrible. I worked in Florence for almost 15 years. Talking about Florence, Alabama. Don't we talking about Lamonte Turner's hometown like that?
Lamonte is from Huntsville, okay?
He from Florence.
Shh. Lamonte won't even admit that. He'll lie. Cover up.
What does he say he's from?
I'm sure it's Florence because that's what all his bio stuff says. He's a North Alabama boy.
Say that. He did go to school in Huntsville for a little bit at Sparkman. Volunteer Jack says they have been working on these roads for the last 10 years. It's a never-ending project. You talking about I-59 or Spartanburg?
I think it was 26 that goes from Columbia to the Spartanburg area.
Because I remember going to Stokes' wedding, and
he's in Greenville, right?
Yeah, but I saw some signs that said Spartanburg. I don't know where it was. But anyways,
when I see Spartanburg, I think of Zion.
Yeah, I was driving, and it looked like they've been doing construction for the last 35 years. It looked like that.
Yeah, it was like driving to Birmingham when you get south of Coleman and Hartselle and the outskirts of Birmingham, and it's just nothing but construction. That's what it was like. It was not enjoyable. I did drive past the Irmo, South Carolina sign, thought of the Hyatts, and sure enough, the Hyatts were at the game on Friday, decked out in their Tennessee gear.
They weren't gonna pass up an opportunity to rub it in. They weren't gonna pass up an opportunity. They get crap all the time from Gamecock fans probably down there.
I-85.
And a winning team coming to town too. Oh yeah. Men's basketball, women's soccer, tennis team, softball.
Yeah, I don't know that we can mention the softball team at the moment.
Yeah.
Softball team kind of regressed over the last couple of years.
It took an L, I know. I'm just saying. But my point is
sad
that whenever there's an opportunity for the Hyatts to troll Gamecock fans, I'm sure they want to do it. I'm sure they'll take advantage of it.
Ja Morant, South Carolina is located near Columbia.
Excuse me?
Ja Morant, South Carolina.
They haven't renamed the city yet.
They gave him a day. They gave him a key to the town.
They don't have a city yet. He gotta go do something. He gotta go win something.
Just remember.
But knowing that he's a Grizzly, they might retire his jersey and give him a statue.
That's right.
For getting out of the first round.
That's right.
Y'all like to, give folks, statues and they don't win a championship.
When you finally join the rest of the NFL and your team actually has a 4,000-yard passer, you can talk about other teams.
Oh, man.
No, I know. The Grizzlies retired some jerseys. That's a hot conversation that has been had. I didn't mind it. Just like Pecorine, his jersey should be retired when he officially hangs it up.
Oh, well, he should be. Yeah,
he didn't win a trophy.
Yeah, but I mean, still,
Pecorine did for Nashville hockey what Tony Allen, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, and Zach Randolph did for Memphis basketball.
Yeah, and that's why Nashville is not like Edmonton or Pittsburgh those type of hockey franchises that have won multiple championships. Not Edmonton, but Boston Bruins. Excuse me. They're not there yet. Like when you are at that level, you don't just retire folks' jerseys. Just for having a long career. There's a higher standard. Just like Tennessee football, it takes a lot for you to be, have your jersey retired. Al Wilson doesn't have his jersey retired. But if Al Wilson played Central Florida, the stadium would be called Al Wilson Stadium.
Vanderbilt would be Al Wilson Stadium.
Exactly. Yeah, it'd be Al Wilson Stadium. But that's just the prestige of the organization. It takes a lot for you to have your jersey retired playing for the Celtics. It's the reason why Grant Williams didn't have any numbers to choose from.
Yeah. No, I agree. There are a difference in organizations, and I'm of the mindset that I'm okay with that. I don't think it should be championship or bust. For some organizations, it has become that. Yankees, Steelers, it is much so that. But the Grizzlies, the Preds, they're not that right now. So I get it.
Let me ask you this, man. How much stock do you put into transfer rankings? Because we have reached that level where the recruiting sites are now grading transfers, which I think is really, really hard to grade. Because you take a guy like Alvin Kamara, and just think about when he left Alabama. And let's just say Alvin Kamara transferred to another school right after leaving Alabama. And think about the criticism that Alvin Kamara would have gotten. Well, he didn't do anything in Alabama. Got in trouble. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how good he's going to be. The truth is, it was just a bad fit for him. He always had the talent, but he had to mature. It was a bad fit for him. But when he got to a place where he understood his purpose, he was comfortable, he's more mature, look what he turned into. So how can you grade that? Like, how can you sit there and put a transfer at a certain number when you don't know the entire story of why that player is transferring, why did he pan out, and based on needs of the new team? So, like, all right, you can transfer to Alabama, but they don't really need you like that. And you may not even play as a starter. So how you rank super, super high over some other cat that is leaving a program where he was the top dog, and his new program that he's going to has a void where he fits perfectly. He's going to have probably a bigger impact. So I don't know, man.
I don't put a lot of stock into it at all. I think everything is so circumstantial. With Henry, for instance, like, he's ranked number one because of his recruiting rankings coming out of high school 2 years ago.
Is he ranked number one?
I think most of them have had him or Eric Gray number one.
I mean, I understand Eric Gray now.
Yeah. I look, I'm not as down on Henry as most are. I'm sorry, but I'm just not gonna write the kid off after he didn't even have a legitimate position coach coaching him last year, and everybody wants to talk about how Henry can't guard a slant. Are we just going to ignore the coaching situation on the defensive side of the ball last year?
Linebackers don't guard slants.
Thank you.
Unless you're talking about running backs running slants, but like you playing man to man, linebacker's not guarding a slant. It's not the linebacker's job to guard a slant,
but everybody's like just down on Henry, and look, I think it's going to take a lot of hard work for Henry to get on the field at Alabama, but not because of his natural talent. It's going to be hard for him to get on the he's going to be on the field. It's going to be hard for him to play significant snaps at Alabama, to be a starter at Alabama, because Alabama already has established inside linebackers. And on top of Alabama already having established inside linebackers, he has not been working out at the same rate as his now teammates. And he has not been properly working on getting quicker, getting better. And I say properly because he's been working. I don't want it to seem as if he's lazy. It's just different when you're working out in somebody's gym back home where you grew up and working in a college strength and conditioning program. You didn't go through spring. So, like, I'm not writing off Henry like a lot of people. It seems like a lot of people are and just, he won't do anything in Alabama. I think he will contribute because he's too good of a football player. And that's why you are seeing Henry at the top of these transfer rankings because of what his recruiting ranking was coming out of high school. He had a big freshman season, and then it seems like people outside of Knoxville are giving him the benefit of the doubt for a down year because of the situation that was at Tennessee last year. But to go back to what I initially said, I think it's all circumstantial. Like, you put Henry in that situation, he's more likely to succeed at Alabama because of the resources that he has at hand every day compared to where if he went to Missouri or South Carolina or somebody like that.
Caleb says, can the football team take more transfers, or are the scholarship numbers full? Do you think the coaches are in Jay Hardy's ear? Do I think that Tennessee is like actively trying to recruit Jay Hardy to Tennessee this year? No. Do I think there's miscommunication? Yeah, I do think that. Do I think Jay Hardy can possibly join Tennessee's program later? Yeah, in the future. Not right now. Tennessee could add more transfers if they want to. It's just now you have to count it towards the 2022 recruiting class, which I have no problem with. Here's a way to think about the transfer portal. And I don't know if there's another program in the country that can say this, except for Tennessee. And you can say that maybe looking at the situation as glass half full. But I think you can look at it glass half empty and half full at the same time. This is what I mean. What other program has been hit the hardest with the transfer portal? It's been Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Tennessee also can benefit from the transfer portal more than any other team. Like, you got high school recruits that may be a little shy about entering a situation where you don't know about NCAA sanctions. How's this going to affect my career? I want to play in bowl games. But you got some players at other schools that have proved that they're pretty good that probably don't even care about that stuff. All they care about is playing time and being developed and going to the next level. It's kind of like after you get a certain type of age, guys, things that mattered to you when you would look at a girl, they don't matter as much. It just doesn't. Like, there are other important things that matter more than maybe looks or, something else, whatever. But you take a more mature college football player, he's not shining away from Tennessee's scars right now. But a high school player is. And I was a high school player that did not want to go to Alabama for a number of reasons, but one of them was because they were going to be under some sanctions and were not able to go to a bowl game, and they were not. Their first bowl game was, I want to say 2005 when they played, I think it was like Texas Tech in the Cotton Bowl when they had a pretty good season that year. I didn't want to sacrifice my first 2 years not going to a bowl game. But if I'm a transfer that's already played a year or two in college and I haven't played where I am or I'm not happy where I am, and the only thing I care about is being happy, being in a positive culture, playing at the SEC level, and a coaching staff positioning me to be in the draft, a bowl game is not as important for me as it was when I was a freshman. So, like, I look at the transfer portal, Ben, and I'm like, yes, this is the wrong time for Tennessee to have these new rules, the transfer portal. But at the same time, look what we have done in the transfer portal. It's been a blessing and a curse. It really has been.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And we talked about it a little bit on Friday with Stokes that Josh Heupel and his coaching staff have done a good job of taking advantage of the transfer portal. We'll see just how big of a home run Heupel hit with the transfer portal because I think the jury is still out on a couple of players having an immediate impact. Apache, the linebacker from Michigan, he hasn't played a ton of football.
No.
I think he played in like 3 or 4 games at Michigan, and he's still in the early stages of his career. He's like an incoming recruit. You don't really know what you're going to get from him. Kamal Haddon, he was good at JUCO, but hasn't proven himself within the SEC. DeJohn Terry, Caleb Tremblay, they have some potential, but they didn't just, make a million plays at USC or Kansas.
Still better than a true freshman.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Better than having to rely on a true freshman. And even like Javonte Payton, he struggled with consistency at Mississippi State and JUCO, but better than relying on some of the other younger receivers who may not be clicking mentally right now instead of having to rely on a freshman or a sophomore who isn't maturing at the rate that they need to. Now you can throw a senior in there who has played SEC football, and it's his last hurrah. So he's going to be determined. It's a contract year for Javonte Payton. He's going to be determined to go out and have a big-time year to finish up his college career and hope to get a shot at playing in the NFL. So we'll see what happens with Joe Milton. He could potentially be the diamond out of the group, but I think Josh Heupel has done a tremendous job of utilizing the transfer portal.
Yep. It's going to be it's been a curse, but it's also going to be a gift. I think the transfer portal could help with the rebuild faster if we didn't have one.
Yep, because like I talked about on Friday, like Tennessee fans, the ones who think rationally, they understand that Josh Heupel does deserve more time than a Butch Jones, a Lane Kiffin, Jeremy Pruitt, a Derek Dooley. It sucks that that's the case, but it's still the truth. Like, Josh Heupel deserves time. He is taking over a huge mess. He is so far behind the 8 ball. By far the worst situation to take over of the Tennessee coaching hires the last decade or so. By far. It's not even close. So Josh Heupel deserves time, and although people realize that going into the season, if Josh Heupel loses to Pittsburgh, people are going to be breathing down his neck. People are going to be coming for his neck. If he goes out and loses to Missouri, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, who are in similar situations, like, people, although they realize that Josh Heupel needs time, they're still going to be frustrated, and his clock is going to get shorter, so to speak, or it's going to have less time on it. The hourglass is going to have less sand in it. So if he can come out and win those coin flip games, if he can come out and beat Pittsburgh, beat Carolina, Vanderbilt, Missouri, then you're looking at a record that would be good enough to go to a bowl game if Tennessee was eligible to go to a bowl game, and that completely changes the outlook of the program, because, like you mentioned on Friday, think of what people were saying about Pruitt after the Georgia State game. Yes, people were still kind of saying, okay, well, he needs time. It's game 1. But losing to Georgia State game 1 of year 2, you're getting embarrassed by West Virginia. Year 1, you're getting embarrassed by Vanderbilt year 1.
Yeah.
Like, it changes the perception, and perception is so huge in sports and in college sports. If the transfer portal can help Heupel flip perception in Tennessee's favor by winning close games, the transfer portal absolutely helps with the rebuild.
Yep. It's been the best thing since the worst thing. 865-255-03. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Good morning, Swain Event family. As you already know, I'm your go-to realtor when you are considering buying, selling, or investing in East Tennessee real estate. But did you know I can help all of you listeners in other parts of the country? No matter where you're listening from, there's a good chance I have several Keller Williams real estate partners in your area. I've developed relationships with realtors I know I can trust to help you with your needs. So give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Home service problems occur, even at the most inconvenient times, like during a health crisis. And Tiller is always here to help you 24/7. As people are social distancing and staying at home on workdays, it's an easier time to take care of home maintenance items that you feel are necessary. And we've put new safety precautions in place, like wearing gloves, avoiding physical contact, new sanitation protocols, and limiting time in your home. We're here for you.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Big thanks to Tony Vitello for joining the program today. I mean, you got to think about it. He's getting ready to take his team to Hoover to compete for freaking national championship, man. This is where it starts. College World Series. This is where it starts right here. It is championship mode. It's postseason.
He was literally packing as he was talking to us.
So, I appreciate his time, and I think Tony's a guy that appreciates, because I know I'll speak for myself, but I think I'll speak for you too here, and tell me if I'm wrong. But we've had the same energy for Tony Vitello in the baseball program before he started winning. Mm-hmm. I've been a big fan of his even before he started winning, and it's okay if folks jumped on the bandwagon. It don't make you any less of a fan, but Tony is the reason why I even would watch and like baseball a little bit. And college baseball is pretty damn fun to watch, honestly, man. It's really fun. It's nothing like Major League, but I just appreciate Tony for joining the program today, man. And I was going to say this on the program, but I didn't while we had Tony, because I wanted to make sure we conserve time and get to the things that we need to get to. But and I didn't want to put Tony in an uncomfortable place either. but it's about fits. And you take a guy that had never been a head coach before, following a coach that won a World Series in college, is one of the most respected coaches in college baseball. One couldn't win, didn't win, and the other is taking his team to the SEC tournament as a number 2 seed and has a number 4 national ranking. And the fans love him. It's about fits so much. It's so much about fits. And Tony Vitello is a perfect fit.
Yeah. I've compared over the last couple of weeks that he is, Mike Norvell right now. He is Scott Frost.
Mm-hmm.
The Hurleys of basketball kind of coming up, or Nate Oates being at Buffalo and then finally getting a big job. He is that of the college baseball world right now. He is the hot up and coming coach, but I feel like Tony Vitello fits Tennessee better than Scott Frost fit UCF. Mike Norvell fit really well in Memphis. He vibed well with that city, but he fits Tennessee better than Justin Fuente fit Memphis. He fits better than Nate Oates fits Alabama, in my opinion. He is like the embodiment of Tennessee's fan base right now. Just a passionate guy who is appreciative of being at Tennessee, and that's genuine too. That's not a facade that he's putting up to try and win people over. Like, he truly enjoys the state of Tennessee. Has a condo in Nashville on top of loving Knoxville.
Yeah, Tony mentioned that, his condo was downtown. All you ladies, don't get arrested. Don't be stalking Tony Vitello. Like, oh, we got a location. We got a location, girls. Girls, we got a location. Quick.
Round up.
Let's get to the old city. He said he got a condo in the old city, girls.
They're going to go on a scavenger hunt looking for Tony's apartment. Oh, that would be pretty funny. So
don't catch any charges.
We'll see what happens. I continue to
scallywags
to be in a positive mindset in terms of Tennessee retaining Tony Vitello. He's obviously going to get field calls. He's not at all going to have any type of conversation until the season is over. I can guarantee you that. With Tennessee, with A&M, LSU, TCU, whoever comes calling, until this season is over, he's not going to be speaking at length with anybody. He is 1,000% focused on this team and trying to win a national championship, and I admire that about him, because you have seen coaches, you've seen assistant coaches in the basketball program. You've seen coaches put themselves first over the team, and that is not at all how Tony is wired. So I still have a good feeling about Tony coming back to Tennessee. I think Danny White is going to put Tennessee's best foot forward. And to me, it's going to come down to, can Tennessee get close enough to what another school already has to offer to make it worth Tony sticking around and seeing out the process of getting Tennessee to the point to where these other schools are. And I do believe that Tony will give Tennessee every opportunity to put their best foot forward in terms of what they can offer long term with the program, and I believe that Tony doesn't have to see it overnight. It's not an overnight fix. He realizes that, is what I'm saying. He realizes that it can't all be done at once, which I think works in Tennessee's favor. He realizes that it's a multiple year process. So
good.
I continue to get good vibes on that end.
Yeah, Tony leaves, I'm blaming you, by the way.
Why are you blaming me?
I don't know, man. I just want to. I'm blaming you.
That's fine. I'm going to blame the former Tennessee administrations that were here before Danny White.
That's who really deserve it. For sure. That's who really deserve it. Can I tell you something?
Tell me.
I don't really like the turf baseball field.
I'm not a fan of it either. It's not.
Can they get rid of that?
I mean, technically they could, but they spent over $1 million on it, so I doubt that they will. I hate the turf look. I am very much of that. That is where the traditionalist baseball fan comes out in me. I want the infield dirt and the grass, the smell of the grass when you walk up to the stadium, and the designs that are cut into the grass. I know that the TriStar is out there, but that's a permanent thing. But the turf has been of great benefit to the program. It allows them to play through some sprinkles here and there. It allows them to host baseball tournaments and more camps throughout the summer and off season, which helps the program recruiting and raise money for volunteer assistant Ross Kivett as well. So the turf has been of great benefit to the program, but I do prefer the aesthetic of looking at a natural grass and dirt infield.
I just want to share that.
I'm with you.
I'm a little traditionalist when it comes to that too.
Maybe we should just tear down the baseball stadium, move the frat boys out, build a brand spanking new stadium with infield dirt and beautiful grass.
I'm cool with that. Especially get rid of the butt chuggers. I'm game for
Get
that.
the butt chuggers as far away from campus as possible.
I'm good with that. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope you have a great Monday. Same time tomorrow, 7 a.m. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Peace and love.